stuff. Hello, and welcome to Zaxria. We are back for another night at the Not So Round Table. Thank you for tuning in, and if you are, make sure you're following so you get put in for the giveaway once we reach 100 followers. We're already like 3/4 of the way there, so it's getting there. Once you are put in for the giveaway, if we reach 100, you get put in for a chance to win the most recent adventure book from D&D or Wizards of the Coast, which probably by that time would be the Monsters of Multiverse, I think would probably be the most recent one. Yeah. And then if you're subscribing at that point, you get in, put in for a giveaway for a custom mini from Hero Forge. So we just give you the little gift thing for it, and you can make one. Also, make sure you check out our YouTube. There are VODs all the way up till episode 80 on there, I believe. This is episode 84. There's also some podcasts and other stuff pertaining to D&D and other random RPG stuff on there, so make sure you check all that out. And into this. Last we had left off, you guys were in the first layer of hell, as you have now started your, not really attack, but at least offensive tactics into trying to lessen the blow that is going to be dealt to Zaxria in the coming culling, which is this eradication level type event where these demons will be pouring onto Zaxria to try and just be rid of everything and make it essentially another hell, make it a hellish landscape. You are being sent, essentially, from some planning and discussion and research, and have found out that there are several beacons on the layers of the hells that you need to find and destroy in order to prevent planar travel from that layer of hell to Zaxria. You've already found several of these portals on Zaxria and destroyed them on that end, but you know that it really doesn't do you any good because they can just pop another one up anywhere at any time, and are probably planning to do so. And just, you know, a good assumption would be that there are some that are being made and created almost every day or trying to. So your goal here is to go to these layers, find these beacons, and destroy them to prevent that sort of travel and lessen the amount of demons that will be coming. In the first layer, you fought in these kind of death pits of Gixia, which is the city within Avernus, that you ended up winning and were granted favor by the pitmaster. Your decision for a reward was to have a meeting with Gixia, who is the demonic overlord of the first layer. After speaking with him and some discussion, as expected, a deal was struck. Contracts were signed by all of you, and you came to this agreement that essentially you are going to go to the third layer and kill Gragda. Also, upon killing him, you were given this kind of polyhedral-like spiked ball, if you would, that you have to plant within his chest after killing him. And the contingency being, if you are to die by any means before Gragda is killed, that your soul is eternally belonging to Gixia himself. Not wanting to do that, there's definitely a little bit of a stress factor that has been added to everything. You're in very unfamiliar territory. You've faced a good bit of the creatures that you have seen, but you are not very comfortable being in their home turf. Gixia sent you to the third layer. You bypassed the second layer of discs. Now you're on Minaros, which is this kind of putrid, hellish, kind of plague-like, rocky landscape. You've done a little bit of research yourselves, just from this scroll that Gixia gave you, that gives you locations of beacons, or at least small bits of information. And from what you've read on this layer, or looked at very briefly, that Moldrek saw, there is this ziggurat that at the apex of it has this large kind of pylon-like gem that is funneling power down into a room or getting power from that room. So you have a good idea as to what you're looking for. What you're in now is some sort of a elevated temple off of the ground. It's not like a holy temple, it just kind of has the shape of a pyramid like a temple would. Part of it's kind of caved in and broken. That would be this kind of far wall here. So this entire side is just kind of like crumbled rock, and it's broken. There's a couple of pillars that are like here, but they're really not supporting much, and they're more of just crumbled rock on the ground more than anything. You guys, after traveling a little bit on this layer, realize that the air itself is very putrid and hard to breathe. You are all kind of wore out, tired. Resources have been expended. You are just pushing forward at this point, and now have tried to find some sort of refuge somewhere, and stumbled your way into, not really going to call it an ambush, because you were fully aware that they were here. But you have come into some sort of circumstance where you now see Skip has walked forward with his blade Galdruin and is wielding it outward. You can see the light illuminating out, and all in this kind of not uniform one-step marching-like motion, a little staggered, but all at once kind of moving forward. They all seem to be of one mind of what they're doing, but the way that they move around isn't like super militant or organized. But you watch all of them from the very edge of where this light is shining. They just kind of step into the light and make a couple of steps forward. You hear Skip shout out, "Remyel, help us in our time of need." Throws the shield forward. So I'm actually going to flip-flop you guys.
That's fine.
Like this. Throws the shield forward. You can flip it over to the combat scene for me, Deleuze. Yep. And as he throws the shield forward, you watch this beam of bright light come from the center of the shield. And then in this burst of energy emerging from it, you see this bright white dressed and white wings. The wings themselves have this bit of gold that's just highlighting the tips of the feathers, floating out with this huge greatsword. The sword itself isn't anything special. It just looks like this very, very large blade, well-made golden hilt, and then the steel itself coming upward has this dull glow of yellow around it. Long flowing brown hair. You can see somewhat of a metallic chest plate in the front as Remyel just kind of drops forward, holding one hand up, and then the other one out, wielding the greatsword. All of the plague bearers, of which you have seen before, just start kind of groaning and moving forward. Some of their blades are grinding against the stone on the ground. You can even smell the just putrid, kind of death that is just coming from in front of you. So, with that, I need everybody to roll initiative.
You know, you probably won't remember, but do you know how many key points he would have spent or have left? He didn't write down his current.
Fuck.
He
really doesn't have.
I'm just wondering, do you
This
still
is
get
where
your
you would keep
shield
track of
bonus
it, but
when
there's
you have
nothing
the
there.
shield out?
0 out of.
Oh yeah, because you
mark
throw
coverage.
it away.
But
You throw your shield and it turns into Remyel.
We definitely
doesn't
haven't
have
pressed it
a-
yet.
I don't know if that's how it works. Does
Unless
this
you wrote
light
it down.
just come for the shield? Did I even have to throw it?
He's got another sheet. I know he's got 2 sheets.
That's
One of
what
them's
What's it say on
What did you say?
I mean, it doesn't.
The shield?
What do you mean throw it?
The
So like
shield
the
turn
shield turn into
into
him, or do I still
The
have it?
shield turns into him. That's why when you read the top of it, it says that your bonuses that you gained from the shield are no longer there.
Oh, I
Just, like,
didn't.
cut
I
'em
didn't
in
see that
half.
part.
Well,
I didn't see it either, so-
does he get him
Yeah,
back from a short
yeah,
rest?
I mean, either way, it's still awesome.
There's a lot of work. Yeah, it's still nice to have him.
No,
Yeah, 'cause he would have got
He's
him
pretty
back
much
after
huge
the,
damage
the fight,
sponge.
so he should be back to full.
Alright.
Yeah, we need it.
That is.
Okay.
I need to roll initiative.
I just had his dex, right? That's his initiative.
Correct.
Roll for Anna and roll really high. He's got plus 11 to initiative.
He's got alert.
All right.
Yeah, he's broken, dude.
25 to 20.
21.
Technically, Anders above that category.
Okay.
Out of 29.
Okay.
You gotta start saying just 20 plus.
And then 21 for Ezreal.
Yeah.
20 to 15.
16 for Remyel, 15 for Skip.
16 Chelonia.
17 for Moldrak.
What's Chelonia's dex?
Probably lower. He doesn't have much dex.
16?
Yeah, it's lower than that.
Is it? Okay, then Remyel is.
God, the green lights
No,
are really
Dexter
making it
full.
hard to
What's
see green
what's
dice.
Skip's dex?
Tell me
Or no,
about
never
it.
mind. Never mind.
Like, look at.
Never mind.
I've
Let's
tried.
roll it.
I've tried really hard.
Solid 1-2 there, brother.
Same.
You see what Brandon put in the Discord for who's playing him?
What?
He shared something
He's
like
gonna be really
Yeah, I don't know what
Like
he said he's gonna be
hesitant
really
to,
hesitant to attack these guys
to go
because
in,
he's
yeah,
counter.
yeah, yeah.
What do we got for
So don't
for
run.
Connor and
13.
okay.
Oh fuck, that was white.
13 for Zarvarex and 8 for Connor.
Grab this one. It's got green numbers.
Well, we should all the way back here.
Starting it off, we will have Ander.
Oh shit, I'm not ready. All right.
how tall is the like ceiling or whatever in here?
It's
If there is.
there is a ceiling.
Oh,
It's
God,
more
I'm
of
gonna
just like this
figure out-
big crumbling of rock that's just kind of
Either
like
shit.
built up around this way. So like here it's not too high. It's probably
Okay.
only like a good 11 or so feet
Okay,
at
that's
best.
enough.
But like back here it widens up and you can't really see too much into the ceiling because of how dark it is. So just kind of like these varying heights because of the shape of it and then the way that the rocks have kind of broken and crumbled.
Okay, cool.
Is that yours?
Just showed up in my file.
Good to know.
I think it's Norm's.
Alright, I know. Andrew gets 5 attacks, is that right?
Or maybe it's
Yeah, it should
one of
be.
theirs.
So he's got the.
I don't know.
Because with his bonus action, it's 3.
Yep, and then he's got the 2 additional.
Okay.
And then those 2 additional ones, he just doesn't add his dex modifier to the damage.
Okay. Alright, well then I'll do them separate. So that I know. He's just gonna attack. I don't know. There's no like distinct like.
Nobody seems to be
Leader?
like a leader or
Okay,
anything like
cool,
that. No.
Cool. He's just gonna.
So that guy, he's different. Right?
I was gonna say he looks. He's attacking
I
that.
hear what you're saying, but I don't believe you. Okay, yeah, at the end.
No, those all kind of suck. I didn't say sharpshooter, so they're not sharpshooter. 21.
That would be in Jared
It's-
fashion to forget the first round.
22.
Hits.
18.
Hits.
Damn, I rolled a 3.
Ridiculous.
All right.
Well, you got
Oh,
all
I
your
didn't
cards.
draw cards. Shoot, I probably should.
You're good. Maybe shuffle him a little bit, because he probably stacks all the face cards on top.
That is true. That is true.
Bastard.
He didn't use those cards last week, then.
Would we be able to recall what type of damage the explosion is?
Oh. King of Diamonds. First
I
card.
think I remember it being necrotic.
It is
Okay.
not necrotic.
So,
It's
Make-
not. It's acid damage.
make a dexterity save, Billy.
Okay.
Acid damage?
I
Nope. It's a 1.
Okay. He's restrained for 1 minute.
Okay.
Next one is nothing.
Okay.
Oh. Okay. Got the. I think Andrew's gonna target himself here. He just he pulls the card and sees it and throws it into his face, and he's gonna heal for
Okay.
1d6 plus charisma, I think.
Yeah, it should be plus his charisma.
I'd imagine he licks the back of the card and sticks it to his head.
That's 2.
Okay.
So that's those ones. There's nothing for one of them, so it's just damage.
Okay.
D10 plus a D8 force. Is that right?
Yes.
I don't
That's
know
what
if
that's what
he
it says
is
on
runic
that's what it says on the sheet. So I'm gonna go with that. This is the normal one, so he gets the dex. 18 plus 6, 24 damage
Okay.
for that one, and then these will be the 2 Cabraxis ones. Yeah, they both hit 17 and 4 plus 15.
I
So
think he gets another one as a bonus action, too.
I remember if
I did
these
3.
creatures bleed
think
or
he's
have
4.
blood.
They do.
Yeah, I did this. I did 3, and then I just rolled 2.
Yeah.
Oh,
The one that restrains still does damage too.
Oh, it does.
Yep. I
Alright.
think that's where
Rolling
the
again.
confusion came from Jerry.
13 plus 8. 21 for that one then.
Okay.
And then for the last 2, 3 plus. So does he? He doesn't add anything
Just
to
doesn't
these?
add dex. If he would have done sharpshooter, then he'd add that, but he doesn't add dex, so it's just straight
So
dice.
he's got. Are his cards +1, +2? Are they plus nothing?
For damage, I don't know if they do any extra damage. I
Okay.
think it's just a hit.
Then 11 and 5, so 16 more. Got it. Sorry, I will
All good.
get better at playing Andrew.
The first card that Andrew throws, there's these blue large chains that break out and just wrap all the way around the plague bearer, who just is sitting there kind of groaning with this like mallet in its hand. The next set of cards just start flying at it. You can see chunks of just this like rotted flesh blasting off of the bone. All right, Azrael.
Alright. Well, it's been a long time since he's fought these things, but still remembering how awful they are. He's gonna kind of duck out of the way. So 5, 10, trying to like tucker behind this pillar that's coming out here.
Okay.
And then he already transformed Demon's Bane as we were approaching
Okay.
to the revolver. So he is going to start with a shot at closest.
Just kind of like peek around.
Yeah.
Okay.
And still get advantage because they're demons, correct?
Correct.
That is a 18.
Hits.
Alright, so as a D10 revolver, D10 from or D8 from that. I think that's it at the moment. Okay. So 4, 9 regular. Well, I get that's a magic gun now. So 9 piercing, 1 psychic, 1 necrotic, and 5 radiant.
Okay, got it.
And the second shot, just a quick double tap. Is a 29. Hit.
Hits.
That is 14 piercing, 5 psychic, 1 necrotic, and 5 radiant.
Okay, so it's how? Wait, 14,
14
Piercing?
piercing, 5 psychic,
5 psychic.
1 necrotic, and 5 radiant.
Okay. All right. As you pull the handle from your side, it starts to blend and form into the revolver. As you reach around the corner and just let out 2 shots, one after the other, you can see these bright yellow bullets flying out, and then there's just like this black that's mixed towards the back, and then even like a little purple wisp at the end of it as the bullet flies through, and they each slam into the form. You can see the necrotic damage just kind of seems like it disperses, but the radiant damage almost hits and then just like spreads out towards the back, causing this almost cauterized wound in the place of where the bullet went through.
Oh shit, I could have crit on that one. Damn, never mind, I forgot.
Okay,
I keep forgetting about this one.
you're good with movement.
Yeah.
Everything's set. Moldrak, you're up.
Uh,
Remyel's on deck.
Damn.
yeah, I just set all these dice on here.
Freak
And
your
I need
demons,
my other
man.
page. Um, That's used, that's used. This is not used. Shoot. God, it feels like such a waste. Shit.
Question. Does he have 2 attacks?
It should say on there if he does. If he doesn't, then he's just got the 1. Yeah, so it should just be 1.
I don't want to run in, but I also feel like these guys probably have a lot of health from what I remember. I'm going to run over towards there, yeah. And
20
I'm
feet.
going to take some attacks.
All right. You get up in its face, and it just like turns, and you can see its jaws just completely loose.
Does 16 hit?
Yep.
Okay, cool. They all hit then. The other 2 are 29 and 27.
All right, and these are all just normal.
Yep.
Got
Just
it.
regular
Uh,
attacks.
We got
Fortify soul, is that, do you pick one or is it just all damage?
to any type of damage. Yeah, so you pick one. You pick a damage
Pick a
dice.
damage dice.
Yep.
17, 35.
It's one of those things where, like, when you type it, you know, like, what you're trying to get across,
Yeah,
and it
so
sounds
that-
good as you're looking at it, but if you, yeah.
The wording is
47 points of damage.
Okay.
Nothing I want to do is a bonus action.
Second, I got number 1 behind him.
Yeah.
Alright.
I think you got them in numbered order.
Yeah, I think I did.
Yeah, it's
a
my
little easier on
turn.
myself. All right, you walk up, and the first hit that you take just caves right into the side, like
Aw.
just right into the ribs. The ribs, like even the bones, just seem kind of brittle in some spots. But the way that it like makes contact, it still feels like it's solid, and like it's just like this heaping mess of meat. As you're slamming the mallet into it, like the first warhammer strike that you take, you kind of resist a little bit, like, oh god, and then you just keep.
Afterwards, I'm shaking the
Yeah,
goo
it's
off
like,
my hammer.
Fuck. And when you're in close proximity too, like you can just smell the decay coming off, and it's very, very pungent.
Moldrak's gonna barf.
All right. After that, Remyel is up.
He's gonna step
Okay. Right
so
here.
he's within those 3 guys.
Okay.
Kind of the one he's looking at, this one right here.
All right.
I'm gonna swing at him.
Got it.
That's 30 to hit? Oh, okay.
Yep, that'll do.
Okay.
That guy is 31. He's the boss.
Got him.
Yeah.
We found out he's a boss.
Okay, so the what first? 8, 10, 14 normal damage plus 7. Sorry.
21.
Yeah, 21.
Okay.
Radiant.
And then wow, I rolled really high on the radiant. 11 radiant.
Okay.
6 and a 5.
All right. The blade he takes and just switches to his other hand and swipes downward. It's not even like this super quick motion either. He just kind of switches it over and then slices across the chest. As he does, it opens up the chest where you can see it as it opens. There's just like this very, very slow beating heart. Like it just like does like a thud.
Oh.
And then you wait for a little bit and then there's another thud. Maybe like a good 30 seconds apart where it's just like slowly beating. And then as it pulls further down, you can see the right side of the stomach is just opened up and there's just like parts of the stomach that are slowly oozing and falling out to the ground. And the creature's just like, ugh. And then the bright yellow blade that like comes behind from the radiant damage just puts this huge dark black char around the edges of where the slice comes up.
Goodness.
I can see its heart.
Yep.
Beating.
Yep.
Okay, right after Remyel
Slowly.
finishes his
Chelonia's after yours,
Chelonia's
Remyel.
after- No,
Then
I
you're
am.
You
I have
got
higher dex than he does.
no, but you
Oh,
rolled
no,
a
that was
15. You
Remyel
rolled,
I was talking
you
about.
rolled a
Okay.
15. He rolled a 16.
We're good.
Chelonia, then
Alright.
skip.
Chelonia probably has a lot of movement because he's a monk, right? Yeah.
He sure doesn't. Is it 55?
Nope.
It's part of the music.
He's gonna run up close to. Actually, he's gonna run close to Moldrak.
Nice.
So for his action, he's gonna use the bow staff. He's
Okay.
gonna cast a gust of wind at pushing, like kind of like separating these plague bearers from the one that we're attacking. He's like Moldrak's attacking, so like straight through there, like this 10-foot line.
So he's gonna push here.
Yeah, this.
Okay.
This 10-foot line of squares.
All right. Let me.
Oh,
So
put
that's a
this
strength
up.
save.
Okay.
I gotta be weak, right?
Make sure I've got this.
They should be.
I'm assuming it's just his monk DC because it doesn't have an actual DC for the weapon.
I don't know.
Okay.
Which would be pretty good.
I thought there was a DC on the
So it's gonna hit, yeah, 2 of them right now, maybe 3 if that guy clips it.
Okay. So that's gonna be 14
That's a fail.
and less.
So those both fail.
Okay.
So they get knocked back 15 feet.
All right. Go ahead and drop him back.
And no, that guy probably wasn't close enough. So there's a wind tunnel on all these squares, and then it costs. It's like difficult terrain for people
so
to
it's
move
2
through
feet
it.
of everyone.
Yeah.
Got it.
If I step into the end of it, will it launch me at those 2 guys? That's nice. I'm about to cannonball it through this wall.
Maybe I guess that'll be up to you two.
Yeah. If you start your turn in it, that's when it pushes you.
So it's like not the square. It's like the square right in front of us. So it's like starting from here. So if you
choose
wanna,
to fail to
yeah,
save.
If you want to jump in there.
Then just.
So yeah, so the staff is now like kind of just floating, right?
Yep. That's how
In front?
he just kind of takes it and then activates it, and then the staff stays stationary, holding the gust where it is.
Interesting.
And bonus action, he's going to spend 2 ki, put his hand on Moldrak's shoulder, and give Fortify Soul for acid damage. So you have resistance to acid damage.
Does I have the amulet of poison on?
That doesn't do acid damage.
Oh,
It
okay.
just
That's
does
just poison.
Mhm.
Cool. I'll take it.
And it's for what, an hour?
Wasn't at one point we were treating a certain type of acid damage as poison?
Yeah, it was.
I don't know.
It was. I don't think it had to do with them. I think it was something the hags were doing.
I think it was the
Oh.
what's it called?
The disease or the plague or
no,
whatever?
the snakes.
Oh, that might have been what it was.
It was like
What
we
is
were treating their
RB?
venom as acid, but it was
Right.
poison at the
I
same
remember,
time.
yeah. I remember what you're saying. Yeah.
That's just true.
Okay. As Chelonia walks forward and takes the staff and kind of does like this quick flip outward and places his hands upon it, this huge gust of wind just starts pushing forward, and the plague bears, like you can see, like chunks of their skin are like peeling and blasting backwards, and they're like trying to walk forward, but it's just pushing them, and they slam against the wall, and then get to a point where they slowly start making their way forward, even slower than they normally walk anyhow. And then the staff just kind of like floats above him like a little companion just around him.
Yeah, a little wind
And
tunnel
then
right
he
here.
just reaches over, and you watch this yellow ring just slowly go down your whole body, giving you the resistance. And then it is Skip's turn.
The one that I can see, it's hard.
Okay.
I don't know which one that
Jump
is.
straight at him.
Okay. 20.
Oh, it was a 19 plus 7, so
Hits.
yeah. Divine Smite, obviously.
Okay.
Second level.
Got it.
And then I'm using two-handed. So
Yep, because the shield's not there.
So I'll just roll
So make sure you know what your AC
normal
is without
damage
it.
first.
You got it. You got
Yeah,
it
dude, I'm
written
at
down.
21. I'm good.
Okay.
21 because I have Shield of Faith on, and the +3 from the shield is gone. Oh no, it would be 22 because I have the +1 to constant.
What is it normally?
19.
Okay, and then with the shield,
Shield
puts you to
phase
20. Okay, okay. Yep, we're good. We're good.
So that's 10 normal slashing damage.
Okay.
+1, so that would be
11.
11. Yeah, that's the number.
Wasn't all right.
Alright. Or no, it would be +5. My bad.
Whatever your strength is.
Both in 3, yeah. But it has a +1 to the sword, so +4.
Okay.
And then all the radiant. 6, 12, 14, 15, 16, 20. Am I forgetting anything? No, that's 20 radiant damage. On top of both there.
Okay. Okay.
You still up?
Yeah. Got another attack?
Nope, I'm not gonna. Oh no, I have to attack, don't I?
I mean, you don't have to do the next attack,
Could
but
I use?
you
I
have,
can use my.
if you use the attack action, you have to use attacks.
Second attack. Yeah. Okay.
You don't have to do the second attack, but you have it.
One next to
You
him.
can't like
I'm
do
gonna
something
hit him.
else. Okay. You gotta tuck in a little more,
Get them
but
all
yeah,
low,
yeah.
toss them into a pit.
boom.
That's a 19 again. So
Okay,
yeah.
hits.
Just cut off their legs, make them crawlers. Start cutting them around.
We'll walk
So
in circles.
slashing
You guys
damage
get
first.
you guys get some sleep. I'll take care
I'll
of this
watch
one.
them.
9 slashing damage. And then because of that,
Get him
that's
clipped
the
down the edge of
sword.
the stairs.
Another one because it's
He's just crawling at the end of the
Oh,
stairs.
that I didn't do. So there would have been one more D8 on top of that first
Go ahead,
attack. It's a 6, so that's 6 more radiant on top of him. So sword, 1 because of the sword, 1 because of the sword, and the demon. Jesus fuck. Okay. 1 because of that. 1 because of
You only get one from the sword for undead.
undead. Take
Yeah.
It
that.
says it right on it.
Okay. That's that. Yeah, what is it?
Damn, should pick it.
Technically, they make the save at the start of their turn, not when it's cast. But
That's okay. Their turn's next, so
Cool. 4, 9,
they would have no.
11, 18 radiant.
oh damn. Okay. To the guy next to him,
Next one,
correct? Yeah. Okay.
Let's put a with the first strike, like stabbed out toward the heart there,
Yeah.
and then turned it and just went through the actual body into the other one.
Okay. As you take and stab forward, the plague bear just kind of like moving as you're walking up. You hit up into the kind of upper left chest, and then yank across to where you just see this huge gout of dark, almost black tar-like blood, along with this green skin, get yanked and ripped to the side. And then as you slice across, you cut right across the neck of the other one, and like the slow black ooze of blood starts pouring out, and they're just like.
It's gonna take some great
turns over towards you.
Between his arm and cleans the blood off.
Okay, and now it is the plague bearers.
Bring it, you sissy fucks.
This guy's restrained.
Cleans the blood off and sharpens his blade at the same time.
Surprisingly, I have a piece of flint right here, so every time I do that, it's like a honing blade
All
for your
the-
kitchen
Just
knife.
gonna say they failed
The
already.
sulfuric
Yeah.
gas in here ignites.
Oh yeah, there you go. Make it sparks and
It'd
shit.
be like a
They're
nuke
very
is a
slow.
scary-
The whole
Figured
plane
that making a
would
wind
blow
tunnel
up.
could like
Yeah.
separate them and
If it was
kind
like
of start.
methane,
It's
that'd be fun.
it's
One at a
concentrated.
time.
in here.
Okay, so I'm gonna start this way and work around.
Oh boy.
First guy on you, Modrak.
Yep.
All right.
Go for it.
He's
bud.
actually just gonna turn, and you watch him just like breathe outwards towards both of you. So both Chelonia Chelonia won't have to do it because he's immune. Modrak, I'm gonna need you to make a Constitution save.
Okay.
That's not
Natural
bad.
20.
Okay,
He
success.
said he flexed the poison.
All right. As he starts to like, you just take the shield and smack the face of the plague bear, and you hear this like snap and crack, and the head's kind of like stuck over the side, and it's just like vomiting up in the corner before it like snaps its neck back to where it was. Glad you guys are feeling
like
it.
these things, man.
Ooh.
These guys are there.
They're
This
annoying.
guy's gonna make his attack on you, Skip.
Get him.
So he's got 2. Sue, I've got the lowest one is a 25.
Shield.
Okay.
Big Spy AC 26.
So then the other one is, let me see if this hits, 27.
That is,
One was a
yeah.
25.
Okay. You're immune to the plague points.
Yep.
Need you to make a con save.
Maybe that's what that was.
Save?
Yeah.
That's 29.
RB.
Okay.
I don't know what the hell.
Are
that
you
was.
immune to poison?
Resistant.
Okay, so you haven't been able to do that.
Hold
with
on.
the- Yeah, check your stuff.
Yeah, I believe it's resistant. I don't think it's immune. I think it's immune to disease.
I think you get it from your paladin.
Yeah. Paladin gets divine health, I think, or
Yeah, I
something.
don't know if
Yeah.
it's just disease
Yeah,
or
like
if it's
third
both
level?
poison and
I can
disease.
look. It's alright.
Don't know. But either way, you are taking
Never played one.
11 points of slashing damage.
Remyel takes it all.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, there it is, right there. Oh, that's Remyel. Sorry. Here it is. Oh, that's, you just
So
sent
if
it.
Ramiel
No, that's the
taking
actual.
damage
It's the actual paladin class.
4 people, if you're concentrating on something, do you not have to make a concentration
He's his own.
check?
He's his own. He's
Yeah.
his own deal.
Yeah, so if you...
I'm not talking about.
Yeah, he's like if you...
I'm saying if
My
he
bad.
takes
I'm sorry.
damage for you and you're concentrating on something, do you have to make a check?
Because no, not at all. Because he's
Okay.
he's literally just going over and taking the hit,
Okay.
so it doesn't affect you in any sort of way.
Okay.
Imagine him just like
So
a,
does he go back to his original space
I have-
at
Yep.
the end of that
No,
too?
it would be in the paladin class, not in your subclass.
No, I have
think
it
the
right here.
Warforged
I have it
has
right here.
something.
Your body is constructed from a combination of metal, wood, and yada yada. You have advantage on saving throws against poison, and you
I'm
are
talking about
resistant.
divine
to poison.
health.
okay. Check your paladin thing to see if you're immune, just so we can.
That's disease. That's what I'm immune to
Okay.
disease. I should have it over here. Yeah, no, I'm immune to disease with the
Alright, just
paladin
double
health
check.
thing.
But you do
Divine-
take the
yeah.
11 slashing.
Remyel takes it.
Oh yeah. Make sure you're marking that stuff
Yep,
on
I'm
here.
gonna put his little health.
Put his health.
All right, this guy's gonna attack you as well, Skip.
What?
2 attacks.
I'm in shield. 26 is my AC.
This is natural 1 and 18 plus 8, so 26.
Remyel will take that damage as well.
Skip on blocks.
19 plus 4. 23 points of slashing damage.
I got rims now. It's really weird.
23 points slashing damage. And then another con save
Give him a wheel like a
For
cut grass.
Remyel or for me?
for you.
Natural 20.
Okay. Alright, and now we're going to do the attacks against Remyel there.
Okay. So 23 attacks.
Yeah, he's about to get 8 attacks coming at him.
Sure.
We'll do the first 2 here.
He has plus.
What's his dex?
How long does it take
his
him to come
dex
back? and
is
die?
16, so plus 3.
Okay, so he's flanked right now.
Okay.
First guy. First attack is 25. Second attack is 23. 26 points slashing damage. It should be on there, but he's immune to poison and disease. So.
I would imagine he's an angel.
Yep. Okay. So you add that right there, right?
That was all of it together?
Yeah. 26
Really?
for both attacks. Yep.
Only 2 attacks.
And then the save and everything is irrelevant because he just doesn't kick it. Next guy is 2 attacks. Or no, wait.
Remyel again?
I fucked up.
They're all on Remyel. He's making 8 attacks.
Anyways. That guy's first 2. Now this guy's next 2. Fuck. What do I got? 6. Nope. 17.
Nope.
All right. Next one.
His AC is 21, by the way.
Next one is 26.
Yep.
Okay, so that guy, we're going to do the damage for that one, which is going to be 11 plus 4, 15 points slashing damage.
Okay.
Then we're going to go over to the next guy, his 2 attacks. First one, it's a natural 20.
That's it, 21. Get fucked.
Second one is also a natural 20. You get fucked.
Oh, God. Well, it's not me.
Track.
So that's 14.
Oh, can I,
14.
Wait until they
Oh,
start.
I can't give you disadvantage right now, can I?
You're too
5
far.
feet of skid.
Yeah, but it's within the attacker.
Oh,
This
it's
is-
him?
This is the guy.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you gotta be able to like.
Yeah, you gotta be able to throw the shield out. Okay, so 8, 14, 22, 26 from the first one.
Damage?
Yep. And then the second one is 28.
Remyel's
Next 2
out.
attacks. First one.
246.
That's a lot. Once they start exploding,
First
that
one's a
ga-
miss.
That health's gonna go like quick.
Natural 20.
Stop. Get some help.
Damn, you said get fucked a minute ago.
18,
I take it back.
26,
Just
30.
check on what I was thinking. What happens if he dies?
30.
30 damage?
I
Yep.
thought it was 24
And then the
hours.
last guy's
If
2
he
attacks.
dies?
He just like this.
No, it's only 30 seconds that he's out. If he dies and his hit points hit 0, he goes back into the shield. And I can't use it for 24 hours.
Yeah.
And we're about to rest anyway.
As far as you.
Not for 24 hours.
What was that? I'm sorry, 30?
If we
30.
can.
Yeah, let me see this for a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think it's more than just a 24-hour thing.
I was gonna say, I don't
Guardian Angel for 30 seconds. He lasts for 30 seconds,
Yep.
which is 5 rounds.
Yeah.
Warrior gain the benefits of the shield. Remyel reverts back. You may only call upon Remyel once per day. Yep. So you don't even have to actually rest, technically. It's just
want
a day thing.
What's
Okay. The last guy is 2 attacks.
Sorry. While he's in the inert form, I still get the +3 from the shield, right?
Correct.
Okay, cool. That's alright.
I don't know if that hits.
What is
No, it doesn't. 16.
Yeah.
Next one. It's a 22.
Yeah, that hits.
15, 19 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
Alright.
Now I can see what's going on.
Put all this shit back here. Cool. All of the plague bearers, those 2 trying their best to just like move forward. You can see the wind that's blasting against them as they're trying to push forward. The wind is just like pushing skin back, and you can see bits of their entire bodies are just like falling off and like smacking against the wall. You can hear like the plague bearers that are slicing up towards Remyel. You can see the first 2 slices that go over towards Skip. Remyel actually like just bamps over in this beam of bright yellow light and slams into the front, where you watch a blade like hit across it, and then he goes back to where he was and slices upward at a plague bearer, and then another slice comes down towards Skip, where he like turns around and then the wing gets clipped from it as he's turning around to slice at another plague bearer, and then they all just start reaching up and slicing into him.
And I did find it. It's divine health, immune to disease at level 3.
Just disease, not
Yeah.
poison. Okay,
Poison's the Warforged thing.
got it. All right. After the plague bearers, Zarvrax is up.
He
Do you?
kind of sits there, and he grasps his axe,
Okay.
takes a step forward, and then he kind of just stops there, and that's his turn.
All right. All right. Connor, you're up.
Smash hit that fireball button.
Next up will be the start of round 2.
I have lower
So
health,
what I'm gonna do
but I think it's
is
from
Connor
pits.
is he's gonna pull his staff out.
All right.
And he's going to
about 40.
kind of like
30,
point it out,
37.
and he starts like tracing across. There's a ceiling, right?
Yeah, some semblance of one. It's like rocky.
He's gonna like
Okay for now.
trace
I got
across
22,
like the
see, I don't know if
ceiling,
these guys can-
and then from there you're gonna get a bright yellow shimmer start coming down, and he's gonna cast Wall of Light.
Okay. Wall
I
of
have a
light.
plague.
Yeah, it's a concentration. Can spend it from 120 feet away. 60-foot long wall, 10 feet high, 5 feet thick.
What did you do?
Wall of Light.
Oh, where?
It's gonna wrap around since it's 60. Can you
Oh, yeah, sure.
So it's easier for me to explain.
yeah, you're
I
good.
had a laser pointer, but I don't.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
it's okay.
Okay. What do you got?
So he's pretty much gonna do like from here, and he's gonna wrap it around.
Okay.
Get
Kill them.
fucked.
That guy's dead. He got knocked. Yeah.
Okay. So starting here, and it goes 60 feet. 5, 10, 15,
So
20,
12 squares.
30, 40. Okay.
It doesn't radiant
I'm just gonna
damage.
put.
Oh fuck.
Does anybody? You gotta have like 2 yellow D4s or D6s or
I
something. Right?
grabbed all greens today.
That works. Okay, so it's gonna go here. 2 here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30,
Pistol
35,
piss.
40, 45, 50, 55. Oh. It's gonna go right here.
When a
It's
wall
like
appears, when a wall appears, each creature in its area must make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Did you say it was 50 or 60?
60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's gonna be. Is it how thick is the wall?
5 feet.
Okay, so it's
So
just
it's a
everybody.
square.
on it.
It's a square big.
Got it. All right. So this isn't like out here. It's on top of this guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So everybody but this guy
Yeah.
That's fine.
is gonna
And
make the save,
the
and
guy
this
on
guy
the-
here.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna start with that guy. What's the number on that guy, Shop?
2.
2.
2.
Con save.
Con saves.
Okay. It's
Negative 0.
27.
Yep, that makes it.
Next guy. 12.
Okay.
That's a fail.
Okay. What happens?
So on a success, they take half damage. On a fail, they take the full damage, and they're blinded for 1 minute.
Okay.
And then at the end of their turns, they can choose to save from the blindness.
Got it. Next guy. 19.
That makes it. It's 18 DC, by
Okay.
the way.
Next guy. 20.
Yeah.
Next guy. 25.
He's cheating.
They're just very
17.
healthy. Fail.
I don't know about that. They're plague guys.
14.
Hardy, maybe.
They're hardy.
This guy and this guy, and then the last guy who's also restrained right now. 21.
You have disadvantage?
No.
When you're restrained, I don't. No,
Restrained-
not for
this
con
is-
saves.
this
is con.
Normally, the only disadvantages you get
dex.
are for like strength and dex stuff.
Right.
So, to one set.
Damage.
So, this is 18 radiant damage
Okay.
to those that
Fail.
that failed. 9 if they saved.
So it's actually
And then also, if a creature ends their turn in the wall, they take 4d8 radiant.
They were going to be standing there for a while. I'll try to keep them locked into that spot, but
59.
Remyel's at 1.
Wait, shit. That guy didn't fail.
Can't see through the wall, by the way.
I can see them, right?
Probably.
They're like inside.
They're like in your face.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
But you can't see to the other side.
Halfway in or out.
It's probably too bright.
9.
It can do other cool things too, but I don't think I need to do it right now. You can choose to use, what is it, 10 feet of the wall, and then do it a ranged spell attack.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What's on this guy? Is this a 5?
5.
Okay.
That's a
Can you
5.
keep your finger on him for me? Thank you.
Finger him,
And
Sean.
he succeeded, right?
Tickle in the bum.
Cheeked up, dude.
Cheeked up on a Saturday,
Feel
dude.
them cheeks, dude.
Okay, now the next guy,
Third
number
layer.
6, fail or success.
Fail. Success. He doesn't
You
have
got
a
an
thing.
orange thing? No.
No,
Okay, next guy.
success. He's a fail.
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 Next guy also is a fail.
Okay.
Next guy succeeds.
That guy wasn't in it. It's
So
just
the last
guy
one
on
should
it.
be the guy at the end.
He succeeded.
Numberless, but he's probably, what, 10?
Yeah, he is number 10.
Yeah.
Okay. Taking the staff out, you begin to put this just abstract kind of trace along it. And as you do, it almost looks like it opens up this veil or crack that lets in this beam of light that shines down from this end to this end. It just kind of puts like these two poles, and then it quickly like resonates outward to form this huge wall of bright light. As it starts, you can actually hear for the first time some sort of semblance of a grunt or like reaction. Like some of them are kind of like retracting and blinding and averting their eyes away from them. The ones that you can't really see right now, you can see them just like flailing the blade just directly out in front of them. Okay.
Maybe they'll just hit each other.
The light fades, they're all just...
Start of, round 2. Ander,
Alright.
then Azrael. Connor, do you want to move at all? Are you good where you are?
He is good where he is.
Yeah, interesting logistical kind of question for you.
Okay, hopefully I have an answer.
Demon's Bane, is it every weapon that it transforms into, is it still considered the same weapon, just a different form?
What do you mean?
Do I have to switch blood rights? Or does it just apply to Demon's Bane so it applies
It's
to
just
all the
applied to
weapons
Demon's
that...
Bane, yeah.
Just go ahead and look at that for
That
me.
was kind of my original intent when I made it too, was for you to be able to swap in the blood rights
That's
there.
3.
Oh, hell
Three.
yeah.
That's 3.
Three crits.
Okay.
Um,
Is he hitting which guy?
he's gonna start with that guy.
Okay.
Does he get extra damage for criticals? Is it like a D4?
He's got
or
a
something?
D4, I think it's on his class thing.
I don't know. It's not on this.
It's on another piece of paper.
All right.
I'm pretty positive it's
But they all hit. The lowest one is in 2 18s, a 19, and 2 natural 20s.
You add a D4.
I had a D4. Okay. All right. No special card things though.
Alright, so the first card.
Yep. First one, critical.
Yep.
All right. 6, 12, 24 plus 6, 30 plus 8. 38 points of damage for the first one.
Okay.
I didn't really specify which was which, but I guess it doesn't really matter as far as which one is the last two and which one is the next one. Lower. 2 plus 4, 6 plus 8. 14 plus 8. 22 points of damage for the second one.
Oh, that was fancy.
No, that's fancy.
That was
Okay.
16 plus 8,
Like a fucking
24.
Beyblade.
4 plus 8. 32, 40 points of damage on that.
Fucking hell. Alright, so that guy,
Let it rip.
Andrew just takes all 3 cards and like piles them in between his knuckles and throws as hard as he can, and it just blasts clean through the chest with this blue bit of energy.
Nobody next.
And then followed by that, there's this quick like, and the plague bearer explodes outward,
Okay.
causing this whole like rocky kind of construct here to just be covered in green guts.
That's an interesting question.
Yes.
Start to melt.
Can I, as a reaction, do my fallen puppet in the moment before he explodes? When he hits 0, or no?
It's kind of like it dies and then just
Okay.
explodes like right then and there.
That man switch is already activated.
So you still got the 2 normal hits. So he'll probably just start moving down the line. So the one Probably the one without the ring, because he doesn't.
Right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
And does he have advantage on the blinded ones or no? I don't think
Don't
so.
think so. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Attack
does it?
rolls against it have advantage.
Well, it don't matter. It'll just go from the end, the one without the ring.
Okay.
And these ones I don't add anything to. That's going to be 11 points of damage to that guy.
Okay.
And 13 points of damage to that guy. We're pretty high.
E4.
I didn't do the gambling points, but that's okay.
Yeah, you don't have to do those every time. Those are just if you want to.
Okay. All right, that's his turn.
All right. Just takes the next ones and the kind of ethereal arms from the mantle, reach down, grab the cards from him, and chuck them outward.
I
Alrighty.
keep forgetting sharpshooter. I should remember that. That would have been.
These are the guys that use it on too. I don't think he can miss. I know he can't.
All right.
Unless he rolls if he rolls a natural one, you can just try again.
Yeah.
I'm a right
Okay,
sharpshooter.
Azrael, you're up, and then Moldrak, you're on deck.
Alright, so from when he was peeking around the corner with the revolver, he's just gonna kind of like pull back a little bit, the gun's gonna transform, shift into the rifle, and as in just like resting it on a piece of rock
Okay.
or whatever there that's
Got it.
sticking out.
Part of it's like.
He's kind of just gonna like pivot over and look for a clear line with two people in it. If I can find one.
You got
these
orange
two.
guy and
this
that guy,
guy
or-
and this guy for
Yeah.
you, like where you are right now.
That's
It's
what I
like
was
going
thinking.
right here.
I'll take a shot at the blinded guy.
Okay, you're at advantage.
Yes.
So I have advantage for being blinded, and advantage for not moving, and advantage because of Demon's Bane.
Yeah, so
Four?
it's +4.
Woo!
Not that
And your
really.
roll is advantage.
Yeah.
Not like you really need it.
Yeah.
Come on, crit.
Crit.
Come on.
Damn. That's a 4, but that becomes a 20.
Yep. That'll hit.
Hey.
We are level 16, guys.
Plus psychic. Is the necrotic damage just not really applying right now? I just leave it out of the equation.
No, it's applying.
Oh, okay.
Yep. There really is only one thing that they're not taking damage from, so.
I'm guessing that's gonna
Oh,
be
that's the
slashing.
wrong die. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Like slashing.
Poison or
20
acid?
piercing.
20?
4 psychic and 5 radiant, 1 necrotic.
The right guy here.
That's probably acid.
Okay, sorry. 20
One guy
slashing.
was vomiting
right?
acid.
Oh yeah, 20 piercing,
Oh, piercing.
4
okay.
psychic,
4 psychic.
5 radiant, 1 necrotic.
Yes.
Okay.
Good shit.
And then the guy directly behind will have to roll the hit against him because they're.
Yep.
He just takes half damage. 33.
Yep. Sure.
He just takes half damage from everything. So 8 is 13 piercing, 6 psychic. You want me to half it for you, or do you just want me to give you the totals?
Just give me the totals and
Okay,
I'll add
so-
it up, and then from there I will.
Should I just separate radiant and non-radiant? Is that easy?
Yeah, that makes it way easier.
So 13, 19, 20 non-radiant,
Okay.
and 5 radiant. Well, 2 radiant, or 3 radiant, because it would round up.
Got it. Okay. That should be number 6, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Just making sure. Take the pistol and you kind of have it, and you start to draw your hand back, and as you're pulling it back, the gun is just slowly getting longer, and then you place it underneath and grasp it, and then you can feel the stock like slowly push into your shoulder. Kind of take a breath, hold your breath for a moment, and then you let the shot out, and it goes clean through like this area, and then back into the chest of the other one, even like a little higher up to where it gets a little bit of like the jaw and then slams into it. They don't, like I said, they don't seem to like react crazy to the pain, but it does something where you watch the blood kind of splash, or some form of them gets just blown apart. All right, and then followed by the kind of cauterizing of where it goes in from the radiant damage. Okay, I need to start using that fucking ability. Alright. After Azrael,
You don't have to use any extra stuff.
Moldrak, you're up. Then Remyel.
Alright,
Then Chelonia, then Skip. What happened to their cool labeled cups, man?
They're like all gone.
These are the scam cups. They're not as much.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take some of the stonework. Just kind of rips out of the floor and the wall, and I'm gonna use rock bite enhancement, and then I'm gonna
Okay.
take 2 attacks at the guy in front of me.
All right.
Too bad I don't crit on 19s. All right, they're both gonna hit. The lowest one is a 29.
Got it.
Um, 9 plus 9, 18, 8, 27 points of bludgeoning from the first one. 8 plus 9, 17 points of bludgeoning from the second one.
How much was the first one? 20 something?
29?
That sounds right to
I
me.
think it was 29.
That's, got it. Okay. We're all caught up. That's number 1, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm just gonna stay where I'm at.
Okay. As you're like taking the hammer forward, just straight from the ground, it's like yanking up. You can hear it kind of cracking and breaking. And as you slam into the chest area, the rocks that kind of break off and slam, like go clean through the actual meat and flesh that's there because it's so kind of flimsy, if you would. And as it hits, they actually break through and go through the other side and then reappear onto it. And then you hit again and it does the same thing and yanks back through. So there's just like all of these huge holes that you can see through the front part of the chest. And you can even see some parts of like arteries that are dangling there and like bits of flesh that are just dripping down and slowly, like it's like a piece of meat that is just sliding down another piece of meat from where the chunks have been broken off and splattered. Okay. Fix this. Alright, after Moldrak, Remyel. Remyel!
He's gonna attack, what's his range? 10 feet? Okay. He's within 10 feet.
Gold doubloons.
Yeah, if he's on that square.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, Remyel's gonna kinda like arc over my head with a large swing and try to hit him.
Okay. Plague Bear number
30?
Is that 4? 30? Yeah, that'll do.
Okay. And then 46. Shit, you got too many d6s. Sorry. 6 plus 2 radiant. Here's a normal slashing.
Okay.
6, 10, 14, 7. Oh, excuse me. 20, 21.
21. Okay.
That's normal slashing.
Got it.
4 radiant damage.
Alright, that takes the blade and kind of arcs it over and slices downward into the shoulder. You can see the gash that goes through looks like it does damage, but it's that yellow radiant damage from behind that seems to cauterize and make the wound seem to hurt a little bit more.
I'm just checking to see if he's got anything else to do.
Anything else, Ida?
No, he's going to stand there.
Alright, and Chelonia.
Yeah. Does the staff stay like in that spot, or is it gonna move with
It
him?
kind of moves with him,
Okay.
because if you look at Gust of Wind, I believe it says,
Oh yeah, from you.
yes.
Okay. I just wasn't sure because the staff says it becomes immovable, and then the spell says it stays with the caster.
What is that? What it says on the staff?
Once you cast the spell, the staff becomes immovable until the duration ends, or you
Okay.
grab the staff.
Then go off what the staff says, because I
Okay,
did that
so
like that for a reason.
So it's like right here, then going down that
Yep.
corridor. And he's gonna do like a loop around it.
Okay.
Take 2 attacks against him.
All right.
It's too cool not to like it.
No, I didn't see this was over here.
Where'd you get those dice?
Amazon.
Amazon.
For like
Is this one
35
looking real beat
bucks.
up?
Nice.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah.
With these, it's hard to tell.
Skin's actively falling off.
Yeah.
He's a drippy boy.
I will definitely say these are like the only creatures it's extremely difficult to tell until they're like on death's door.
I don't know. sure all the key and everything. That's what I want to do. There's a lot of stuff you spend it on.
There's a bag of Fritos. That's the only thing.
Actually, do the Intuit to do the advantage on AC increase,
Okay.
just in case it starts swinging at him. It's a bonus action. So first attack,
Oh.
it's a natural 20,
Nice.
of course. D8. Strength. 5, 10, 9, 8, no, 14. 14 damage.
Okay.
Second attack. Is a 24.
Hit.
Sorry, is this round 2?
5 damage.
All right.
And his AC is amplified at the end.
All right. With the staff kind of just blasting forward, he kind of ducks underneath that and then rolls his shell off of Moldrak's back. And as he turns around, just takes this quick chop up towards the neck, and then you watch this yellow ring resonate off of the side of the plague bear's neck that he then slams his hand into the middle of, and you watch like the arm go limp for a second before reaching back down and picking the sword up. Okay. Skip, you're up.
Skip's gonna use bonus action. I'm gonna drop Shield of Faith off myself,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm gonna turn to Remyel, and I grab my holy symbol. My hands glow white, and I guess I touch his leg. He's kind of huge. I touch his leg, and I give him 80 hit points.
Okay.
Oh, is the Intuit bonus damage just apply? Anytime you hit with 2 unarmed
Yeah,
strikes?
it should be equal to his level, so
No, yeah, so an extra 16 force.
got it.
That doesn't do the trick.
Thought that was like something you had spended.
I feel like you're at Nick Studios. Get slimed.
All right,
That's it. Yeah, that's all.
got it. The shield not being there, but you just kind of like hand, like one hand with the sword, set it to your side with the blade down, and then reach up and put your hand on his leg. Then you watch the healing energy go over him as he looks down towards you and just gives a nod before. All right. Up next, the plague bearers. So when they start their turn,
Yeah, start of the turn, make a strength save.
Okay.
Now this guy is technically in it because he slid over.
first one,
He's gonna get blasted.
it's a 19.
You just make it.
Damn it.
Next guy,
I was hoping he'd get blasted away.
20,
Makes it.
and a natural 20.
He makes it.
Okay, and then with your wall of light there,
When they end their turn.
when they end their turn.
And also at the end of their turn,
22.
they can make con saves against the. They don't have to make. So if they end their turn, they just
I'll
take,
take it.
the radiant damage. But if they are blinded, they.
I don't want to get exploded.
It's
I'm probably
directional
gonna
dice over here if
Thank
you're
you.
looking for it.
I am.
They make the save at the end of their turn. But if they end it, they just take the damage.
This guy, you watch him just do this
Soak it off.
and end up right where he was.
Nice.
Okay.
So he's gotta do the
Does that
radiant.
for everyone, so he's gonna.
Yeah, he's
Everybody
gonna have
starts
to.
taking explosions. He's gonna run out through.
These guys are just flailing out in front of him. In front of them.
And then he can also heal and get
Okay.
rid of, like,
So, we're going to start doing some attacks here. We're going to start over here on the left.
Yup.
So this guy's going to take his 2 at Chelonia.
Oh.
So AC is 22 now.
It's a natural 20.
Is that the guy who's been attacking me?
Yes. Natural 20 and what's 12 plus 8? 20.
Alright, well, if he's
20
swinging
on this.
at. He's swinging at Chelonia, I'm swinging at him.
Okay. After I do the damage, or is it just right away?
It just says when. I think with Sentinel just says when they make an attack, you
Okay.
can make an attack as a reaction. So
Got it.
probably after.
Alright, so I'm just going to do the damage for the crit because the other one missed, and then you can take your attack.
Alright.
Alright. Fucking 8. 20, 34. 38 points of slashing damage.
Alright.
Holy shit.
And then you can take your attack.
I did. I rolled a natural one.
Wait.
I slip in the acid.
Okay.
Chelonia?
I don't know if he's
No,
close enough.
Is he within 30 feet? Moldrak is within 25.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. He is.
And no
As
damage.
the blade comes down to slam into Chelonia, you see Remyel's head snap over, and then there's this beam of yellow light where he turns into this kind of orb, and then appears in front of where the blade's coming down, and it slams up into his chest. And as it does, he just like reaches down, grabs it, pulls it, and then bamps back to where he was beside Skip.
Sorry, what was that damage?
34,
30 against Chelonia?
38, or
I
34.
thought you said
38.
38. Yeah.
It was 34, I just didn't add the +4. That's why it makes sense. Okay, next guy. He's going to take 2 attacks at you there.
Go for it.
He's taking attacks at Moldrak.
Okay.
2 attacks. The lowest one is a 25.
Okay, they hit.
So Remyel is going to take this damage from the first one.
Boom.
He just takes it anytime someone's within range and has
Oh,
damage.
okay.
I don't think it's a choice thing.
Yeah.
If it says may, it's a choice. If it doesn't, he has to do it.
No, I think he has to do it. If I
Yeah,
remember
so
correctly.
the first one
He
is...
does anything necessary to protect any friendly creature.
Yeah. Okay, so 14 for the first one.
Okay.
Remyel takes that, and Remyel also takes the 15.
29.
250.
I appreciate it.
Again, there's this bright yellow light that flashes as he bamps over. The blade just slams into his abdomen, and then he grabs and pulls it directly out before reappearing beside Skip.
Guys are badass.
The attack's coming at you there, Skip.
Okay.
Do these first 2. It's a natural 20.
Damn.
And the other one, I don't know if this hits with 19.
I want to utilize my adamantine armor.
It's 20. Because I have the +1.
One day.
That's right. Okay.
Normally it's 19, but I have the +1 because of aura defense.
Damn.
Okay.
Two
So the
divine
natural 20.
interventions in a row. 3 divine interventions in a row. Not 4.
26.
26 damage?
It was
Yeah,
close.
Remyel takes it.
It was real close.
I tell him not to.
He takes it.
He takes it?
He
Yes,
does everything
every time.
necessary.
Doesn't have a choice. Unless it says may.
I don't think even. I think even with you, he just does it.
Yeah, he just takes it every time.
Okay, that's fine. What was, it was 20 what?
26.
26. At least no one gets hurt
The
when he's
first one.
You want some of my nuts?
around. I'll have some of your nuts.
As tempting of an offer as it is, I'm
Next guy's 2
Take what you
attacks.
want out of it.
I'm just gonna a couple.
16.
who's doing what?
Lowest here. Lowest one here is a 24.
Against me?
Yes.
Okay. Shield.
Okay.
Makes my AC 25.
Got it. Okay, so the other one is 25.
Okay.
So you just take one. 16. Remyel takes that 16.
Yep.
Played a nut.
Guy directly in front of Remyel is just going to attack Remyel.
Okay.
2
Remyel
attacks.
doesn't do
Oh
anything.
shit, Jesus.
Way to go with the predictable move.
Flanking, so it's an advantage. That misses.
What's the texture?
Doesn't Remyel get bonus AC from you as well, since he's
+1. Yeah, he's got 21 AC.
just making sure you're keeping track of that.
So
track of
the
everything.
second
Rounds,
one,
health, AC.
the second to hit is 26 against Remyel.
26 against Remyel.
Yep.
I don't have a reaction, so I can't. Okay.
All right, and that's going to be a 12 damage.
Okay.
Next round of attacks are just straight rolls because there's advantage, but he's blinded. That's not going to hit. Second one.
21 is Remyel's AC.
This is 25.
Stop rolling so hard.
6, 7, plus 4. 11 points of slashing damage.
Switch back to whatever you were rolling before.
Last
Okay.
guy. Not going to hit. Second attack, not going to hit. And then this last guy here just has advantage. 25.
Yep.
Then the second one, the natural 20. So the first one, not the crit. 11, 15.
Okay.
And then the crit.
So we're putting all of it together.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
That's max.
back. Oh, I don't like that.
44 points slashing damage.
Okay.
So that would have been 44 plus the 15, 59.
That's fine.
All right.
So all those guys that ended
Nobody.
their
Yeah,
turns
nobody
there,
moved. Yeah.
take 20 radiant damage.
Okay.
Also, you can make saves for the blinded guys.
Is that already doubled?
No.
Okay. All right. So.
About to be some
Everyone
explosion.
but these three.
Yeah. The guys that these. Okay, I have to make saves for them to get rid of it, right?
Yeah, they don't make a save if they end their turn in it, though.
Yeah.
Got it. Let me do their saves first before I forget.
Uh-huh.
So that guy, it's Khan, right?
Yeah.
Okay, 26.
Okay.
You pull that off him for me, thank you. The next guy, that's even higher, 28.
Yeah.
And then the last guy here,
Uh-huh.
25.
Yeah.
No blinds.
All right, and then they all take.
20 radiant
strange.
damage. If it's doubled, 40.
Got it.
I'm
Start
just
with the
assuming
furthest,
the
is that
4,
3?
5, 6, 7, and 3 through 8.
3 through 8. Okay, because 9's outside of it.
Yep.
3 through 8. All right, so with number 3.
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I wonder how much crunching ASMR people can hear.
Alrighty. Again, you can hear the loud kind of, they're not like screams or anything, but it's just like this groan from the bright yellow radiant damage coming down onto them. You can see it kind of burning at the flesh a little bit, similar to how the wounds have been made from other people that are like kind of cauterizing. Alright. That is the Plague Bear's turn. Zarvrax is up, and then Connor.
Alright.
Does he have javelins?
Mm,
I thought he did, but maybe not.
I don't know what this is. It says he has 3, but I don't. He's just gonna chill. If
Okay.
he feels like he doesn't have to do anything, he's not doing anything against these guys.
Got it. Connor, yeah.
I'm good.
He's kind of just gonna like. Zarvash's just gonna kind of back up to like stand in front of like Connor and Andrew a little bit.
Go guard them. You guys got this.
Yeah.
Is that
Connor-
okay, Connor? You need help? Okay.
You want me to help you cast a spell? That's weird, but alright.
Let's think of that right now.
I'll do it.
That's also a thing. Connor's going to take a 10-foot section of the wall away, so from that one. So he's going to use an action, disrupt that 10-foot section of the wall, and he's going to shoot a beam at the Plague Bear, like, not that guy, the one right, yeah, that guy.
Okay.
So, makes a attack. 27 to hit,
Yep.
and
Why?
got. So, do you want me to double this?
If it's radiant, yeah.
Okay, 10. 26.
Nice.
Some of this math I just don't want to fucking do in my head. Okay.
You get it.
And he's just going to continue concentrating on the rest of the wall.
Okay, so does this section go away?
So 10 feet of the wall goes away. Yeah.
Got it.
For now. Or does it always just like permanently go away?
So I can keep using the beam once a turn until the wall is depleted,
Oh, okay.
or I can just focus on it and keep the wall up.
Okay. Alright, but it doesn't like regain the wall at any point?
Nope,
Got it.
not unless you recast it.
Cool. Understood.
Oh, so each time you want to do the beam, it takes 10 feet off the wall? That's pretty
Whether it hits or misses.
cool. That's pretty cool.
Alrighty. Ander is up.
Okay.
Round 3.
All right. I used a gambling point on your next hit. If you hit, roll an additional die for your card damage. Damage type is fire.
Okay.
Fire. We put it down to 2 gambling points. Fire. All sharpshooter.
Okay. Who's he hitting?
Well, I think he's gonna aim for the one that Connor just hit.
That's good.
Or he's probably gonna actually do the guy on the end behind your Remyel.
9.
Yeah. Got it.
1 critical hit in there. What is 15, 17? Does a 12 hit?
Yes.
Okay. And then they all hit. We start with. Want to do them one at a time here, or
No.
no?
He's pretty healthy.
He's pretty healthy. All right.
I'm actually do it one at a time because
Okay.
Andrew hit that fucking
we'll start with
16 level power spike.
We'll start with the critical. Extra damage die. Do you need me to separate out fire?
No.
Okay. 16, 22, 26, 28 points of damage for the critical with the extra die.
Got it.
I'll just roll multiple.
You sharpshooter these?
You added the
Oh
plus.
no,
10
I
on
did
it?
not. Add 10 to that.
Okay.
Okay, so 18, 25, 35 for the second one.
Okay.
16, 26 for the third one.
Okay.
And this one's without the extra. It's still at plus 10. 24 points of damage for that one. That's without the.
The only
dex.
thing you don't add for the ones from the mantle are the dex marker.
I rolled a 10 and a 4, plus 10. 13 points of damage for the last one.
Okay. Still alive.
Alright, well.
This is top of 3. Andrew just starts laying the cards into the back of this plague bear that's
I
here.
realized I never drew cards. Oh, that would have made a difference. Queen of Spades. On a hit, teleport directly to the target location.
So you can throw that wherever.
Does that mean
I'll tell you what.
less damage?
This round, just don't even
Don't draw?
don't even draw. 'em.
Alright, I'm going
It's
to
fine.
put that at the bottom then.
Don't draw. Because it's gonna just fuck up a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Now.
I know,
Alright.
gotta take away whole
My
damage
bad,
with
it's-
attack.
Get rid
I'm
of
not
the-
used to
Yeah,
that.
we'd have to remember. It's fine. You're good.
Alright, I will definitely do it next.
Okay. Alrighty. After. Okay. As he starts chucking the cards into the back, you can see there's like this huge portion in the upper right shoulder that's just like carved away, essentially. You can see bits of like the spine that are connecting to the shoulder, and like there's pieces of bone that are splintered off as well. And all it does is just kind of like turn over and like look behind it. Okay, Azrael, and then Moldrak, you're up next.
Got it.
Is there any line I can get on this guy that hit someone, another demon?
Which one?
This guy?
If you step back, you could. Because like where you are right now, it's lined up with skip. But if you were to like step to here, it would be there. So you wouldn't get your honed in ability, or not honed in, your one for standing still.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. It's more I need to support the gun on something,
Oh,
so I might get knocked on my ass.
yeah. Yeah, the only way you can really line something up is from here, but you can still line up like right here.
Alright, let's do another shot at that one then.
Okay, yeah. Then this time it's actually gonna be this guy and this guy instead of that guy and that guy, because this guy moved.
He didn't. Oh, he did move?
Yeah, because he was like on the outside a little bit and then he walked in more.
Alright. Alright. So the bonus action is reload. Action is fire.
And actually, you can choose who you want it to hit on the other end. If you want it to be this guy or this guy, because this
Okay.
guy's like right in the middle of both.
Yeah, I'll take the
Same one?
4 or 6. That's what I
Okay.
hit last time.
Sounds good. That's number 8. Okay.
Natural 20.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So need some dice here.
Yeah.
What kind of dice?
What
Need
kind?
two more D12s.
Here you go.
No, I don't know where my D12s are.
So it's a D8 for the psychic, which becomes another D8, and then an extra D for so 2 more D8s.
2 more?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking you. I got tons of those.
Alright, so this is the bullet damage, this is the psychic, which is all the same. Alright.
Let's go. Blow these dudes up.
It sounds like a lot of dice.
Alright.
Does that carry through to the next guy?
No.
He's got to roll separate. The guy,
Oh,
next guy just takes half damage.
13.
The attack.
Does he get all the same dice
23.
though? Oh, damn.
23, 39, 42. 42 becomes 84 piercing, well, plus the bonus, so 90 piercing, 90 non-radiant damage,
Okay.
and then 5 radiant damage,
Hell yeah. Holy shit.
which would be, I guess, become 10.
Alright. The rifle
That
gets
shot
set up,
was
and you take a shot, and the bullet, as it's coming off, has this huge beam of like yellow energy behind it that starts to actually open outward instead of just being this fine line behind it. And as it slams into the back, like kind of like shoulder area, there's this huge explosion of yellow energy that causes like the top part of the head to just pop off and just be gone to where it's like cauterized in black. And then you watch it as it's falling, just explodes outward. So Remyel has to make a dex save, and then you can do the next attack.
It's 16, but not very dexterous.
Doesn't he get like a plus from you being by him too?
Plus 2, yeah.
Liz, can you do me a favor really quick
Yep.
and let the dogs into the breezeway?
Yeah, sure.
20 for Remyel.
20? That makes it.
Just in the breezeway.
Yeah, just in the breezeway. And then if that light's not on,
Oh,
you
sorry,
can turn it
20.
on out there. The light switch is right next to that back door. Okay.
Yeah, so it would be 21.
I think you still take half. Yeah, you take half damage.
As long as it's not 86 damage, he's alright.
It's only 85.
35.
Okay.
Clad shot is a 31.
Oh yeah.
2d12 for the psychic. 12, 14, plus 6, 20 non-radiant and 5 radiant, so 10 radiant. Which was halved, so 10 normal damage and then just the 5 radiant just cancels it out.
Got it.
15 total damage.
Got it. Good. Good.
And then he kind of just like lets out like a grin or whatever when he just like decapitates the plague bearer and just
Yeah.
like smiling.
Uh-huh. Okay. Good shit. Alright. After Azrael, it's Moldrak, and I send him on a mission. Alright, Remyel, you are up next, and then Chelonia, and then Skip. Sounds like he's coming back, though. Let me see if I got everybody.
Squeeze out of here.
One, two. That's alright. You are up, Moldrak.
Okay. Anybody die?
Not. What?
If I'm not back before my turn, Remyel's just gonna fuck
One of them? Okay.
Gotta mute Brian too.
I am going to. Is Chelonia like next to me?
Yeah. Yeah, he's right to your left.
Okay.
He's still full HP though. Worried about like exploding or whatever.
Okay. Well, he's
He's
gonna
immune
try
to
to
it.
knock him away, but I think that's Constitution, though. Yeah, I'm just gonna start swinging at the one I've been hitting.
Numero uno.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. I rolled a 3, 4, and a 3, but if you add 14 to all of those, they all hit.
Yep.
I think they should actually be making strength saves because of
Do you have a
rock.
rock bite on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So make one for the first one.
Natural one.
Okay, he's prone. No, can I try to knock the other guy prone too, or no? Alright, I'm gonna just do it, because why not?
Natural 20.
Alright,
Went from
well,
a natural 1 to a natural 20.
that's okay. Damage on the first guy is gonna be plus 9, 17.
Okay.
I said I was gonna do it on the second guy to try and knock him prone.
Yep.
So the damage on that guy is 19. And then I'm going to switch back to the first guy who's on the ground.
You rolled that with advantage?
I'll roll another one. Nope, it's an 11. Damage on that one, 18, 22.
Okay.
And I'm going to use my bonus action to... Nope. I'm not. I already have 1 plague point. That's how you get a second plague
Oh,
point.
that's so good. I'm gonna...
It's against my better judgment.
Yeah.
What did we get, or Chelonian, and then someone else get the
Spicy.
temporary HP from something? What was it from?
Well, I
Oh,
gave
yeah.
him 20,
Yeah, okay, it was marked. I was
so
trying
you
to
should
remember
still
what it was
have
from.
that. It doesn't.
Yeah,
It doesn't go away.
Okay. You wrote 25.
Yep, that's right.
Okay.
20 plus proficiency.
Okay. So you take... are you guys only at 5 still?
Plus 5, yeah.
Oh, I thought you guys were at
I
6.
think
so-
next level might be
Next
plus.
level.
Next level 6? Okay. Alright, so you take the first swing with the hammer and kind of right towards the back part of the head that causes it to just like hit to the ground and almost like scorpion from the legs trying to catch up to the momentum of it slamming down. Take the second swing to the side to try to hit it, but as you hit it, it slams into the side of like the jaw and you hear this loud crack, and then you just swing right back down into the back of the other one and it just squishes down into it, doing the same thing where it like slams and the rocks fly through and then yank right back up to where now you can just see just organs just spewing from every possible part of the one on the floor right now. You can hear as it's trying to get up and like push itself up, the sound of like the flesh just like slowly like
Stop.
Remyel is up.
Alright, I'm gonna swing his sword at one of the guys in front of me. I'm gonna say the one on my right.
Okay.
Skips right, sorry.
Number 5.
Yes. That is 28 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Four, 10 slashing. 8, double to 16 radiant.
You said 18?
8, double to 16
Oh, okay.
radiant.
I was like, what the fuck? How did I do that with 18? Alright, that makes sense though. Alright, cool. Just does the same thing, takes the blade and just stabs down over your shoulder. At the same time, you're like taking the blade and getting ready to stab the one in front of you or the same one. Alright, after that, Chelonia's up, and then Skip.
Just gonna just do some strikes on this prone plague bear.
For it.
Advantage because he's prone, right?
Yep.
many rounds was
This is round 3.
30 seconds?
That's
24.
Yeah.
That's nice. 12 damage.
Okay.
Second one. Natural 20.
Oof.
Oh, Jesus Christ, he's on fire.
Another 12 damage. And then he takes
When you do.
16 force for both hitting.
What?
All right. I need
No, I unmuted
Oh.
Good picture.
You don't need.
Moldrak and Chelonia to make dex saves.
Oh, is it Dex?
He has it.
Are you within, hold on, before you make the... Are you within 30 feet? Is it 30 feet?
Yes.
It's
From
10.
you, it's 10 feet. I thought you were talking about Remyel.
Is this a poison thing?
Oh, Remy doesn't take damage, obviously.
This is the plague point.
Trelawney will fail.
Okay.
He's immune to disease and stuff, though.
Yeah.
I too fail.
You roll up.
Okay. So instead of you guys actually taking the plague point,
We got +6.
as long as
Yeah,
Remyel is
plus
alive from the
he's
first one
unarmed,
from
so he has
Chelonia,
the
you won't
dex
take it because
thing.
he'll take the damage, and
Okay.
Boom, dude.
which would be like consistent with him also taking the damage that causes you to get the plague point.
Right.
Okay.
Does an evasion apply to this?
To Dex, yes.
It's a Dex save, so yeah.
But the only thing is that he takes the damage.
Let's take
That
it.
Remyel takes the damage from it, so it doesn't
Okay.
apply.
Oh, gotcha.
So from the first one against Chelonia, 15,
I'm just saying, it might
22
make you save,
Remyel
so
takes,
if it does.
and then he's still got health. He's still up. Okay,
He's
so
got-
you'll
give you a bonus
you
to
won't
the
take
save.
that plague point or the
Just when you
damage
make
from
a
this.
dex save,
Okay.
you take reduced
Do
damage.
you want me to heal Remyel?
15.
If you can.
Not for a lot, but
Oh, you still can.
for a
Drop
while,
one
too.
vitality. But if you can, as much health as you
27.
can give him.
27.
Can't he?
Okay.
Can't
Still
he
up.
do a heal,
All right.
What?
Brian? Can't he do a heal?
Yeah.
Can he heal himself?
Yeah. I don't think he can heal himself.
Here's what it says.
It says, as an action, he touches a friendly creature. It doesn't say anything about himself.
I'll be-
He's friendly.
It's like the same thing as cure wounds. Or
Right,
whatever.
yeah.
Keep himself.
I'm trying.
That's a shield.
Still gotta keep going with the turn.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna draw
5, 10,
or a vitality.
15,
just
20,
2d6
25,
every
30.
turn.
Alright.
That's a good idea too.
Trelawney is gonna do this little skirt around between everything here to get in. He's gonna
So nobody
touch the
killing
staff to Remyel
My guy.
and do a heal soul.
Nice.
I spend the 5 key on it because he's been getting fucked up.
Okay.
Martial arts die. Yep. Borrow these again. Reroll one. Got one right here. Not bad. 10, 17, 21, 27 health.
Oh,
Nice.
I completely forgot. I'm not gonna put it on now, but the healing that I gave him, he got an extra 15 because of my my oath feature.
Oh yeah. What else feature?
I won't. I'll show it to you. Sorry.
That is Trelawney's turn.
How much did he heal?
27.
27. Okay, thank you.
29.
My connection's being so slow.
Oh, maybe I have an old feature that does that. I think it might be from the shield to get something.
It is the shield. You're right. I'm the dumbass
But you wouldn't be able to do it
because
because
I don't have the
you
shield.
don't have a shield.
Okay,
So
that's
you're
fine.
good.
That's fine.
But you get that health.
Yeah, 27.
All right. You can see Remyel without any sort of hesitation, even though he's got wounds all over him,
Fucker doesn't blink.
bamps over towards where Chelonia takes the one strike down towards the back of the kind of like rib cage area, and then the last one towards the head. And as he does, crushes it, and then you watch the body just slowly swell up and explode outward. Remyel bamps over to where you guys are, and then takes his wings and like curls them around you guys, and then you watch this damage just splash over his back, and you can see like little acidic burns that are hitting his shoulders, and then he just turns into that yellow orb again and bamps over towards where next to Skip.
Trelawney would run over and then just like, be like, thank you, friend.
I fucking love this shield.
As an angelic creature, can he take healing potions?
I was.
He's not taking healing. No.
Hey,
Alright,
I
alright.
control it.
I tried.
He takes
He's only got one thing on his
potions
mind,
because Skip can't.
and it
take
ain't drinking.
potions.
No, it's fucking killing these things. And making sure all of us live.
Alrighty.
Cool. Is Chelonia hurt at all?
No.
After Chelonia's there, Skip, you're up.
Skip grabs holy
Yeah,
symbol.
nobody should be hurt.
Yeah, Skip grabs his holy symbol, his eyes.
Is there a reason for those 2 blue deals?
No, he was in the back.
Okay, I was like, what did happen?
Skip grabs his holy symbol and his eyes
You
glow
don't want to
like
know what that
really
The
bright
flamer
yellow.
exploded, that's what
Okay.
those happened.
And he takes his hand off and he slams his hand onto the ground, and 30 feet around me, there's a light yellow circle.
Okay.
It's Aura of Vitality.
Okay.
And then I use my bonus action, since I can do that, and I heal Remyel 2d6.
In the
8. Is it plus anything?
Nope.
Nope. So he just gets another 8 health to him. And I can choose a creature within 30 feet of me to heal you 2d6.
Every turn.
Every freaking turn.
As long as you're concentrating.
And alive. Yeah.
That's
Is
true.
it concentrate? Yeah, it's
It
concentrate.
is,
Yeah.
yeah.
Up to a minute.
2 more rounds of Remyel after this?
Yeah.
Uh,
2 more.
yeah.
Yep, we're on round 3. He's out at 5.
Alrighty.
As much as we possibly can while he's still here.
So you could chuck a fireball in there if you want.
I'm not hurt.
That's what I'm saying.
And I just take out Remyel.
If you take him out, he just goes out, and I have my shield again.
Plague Bearers.
Relax.
And then that way my
So
healing
strength
does
save
more.
and strength save.
Oh yeah, because of the
Dude.
gust.
It's almost like I'm
First guy.
shit uncomfortable.
Shit. 18.
Fails.
Fuck.
Who?
This guy.
Yep.
Wow.
It's launched back 15 feet.
Damn.
No,
That
he's
guy.
within.
Who am I gonna fight now?
Does he get an opportunity attack?
Yeah, come here.
I,
Hey, where'd you go?
I think forced movement, you can't take them.
Should be.
Yeah, it's only if they're willing. Okay. So those guys get shoved back. That sucks.
Yeet.
Still difficult terrain moving in that tunnel.
He's just gonna turn around and attack Skip.
Well,
That's that.
might be time for the
8,
old-
10, 12,
they're clustered.
14?
That guy might be on the
To go
wall,
right
maybe.
now?
Yeah.
All of these guys is 14.
Is the wall of light at the end of their turn?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they're gonna do all their shit first and then get fucked up by it.
Me and Remyel are taking 12 attacks.
Alrighty, so this guy here is gonna. I'm gonna start this
What
way
is
and work
12
around the other way.
attacks?
2 from here.
Just don't die.
AC's 21 on
They
Remyel.
are at advantage because he's considered flanked.
Mhm.
So this one's gonna be 24,
Yep.
and the second one, 22.
Yep.
Alright, so
I used that one.
I'm almost max.
How bad do we want
22 from the first attack,
I don't care. I could
and 22 from the second. Fucking almost max
Oh,
twice in a
okay.
row. Jesus. Okay, so that's
You gonna kill Skip in
44.
the process?
Okay, now next guy's 2 attacks.
It's up to you.
Alright.
You gotta think about all the explosions.
The blade slams into the back through Remyel, and then you watch the shield as Skip takes his hand up. It's almost like this just instinctual thing. Like you feel the blade go through, and you're like, then you take up, and the shield goes to your hand.
Can you charge that with your staff?
From
Take-
so that guy
take
takes
two
his
And my
two, and then-
healing
Yeah.
effect and shit,
No,
right?
these guys are gonna start moving
It'd
because
be-
that guy's
Okay,
dead.
this is where I was confused about this because when
I'm not
it
immune
hits
to
0,
it.
it says it goes inert.
I'll wait.
Do I
on
still
that.
get like
If you're
the
gonna do
healing
it,
bonus and the?
Let me read it really quick.
Yeah.
Just because I know what you're saying and I know what I meant by it, I just have to read
Right.
it.
I don't know if you just mean it just turns back
And
into a
it's double.
shield and I have to wait before I can do that again.
The shield doesn't go inert.
Okay.
The shield only goes inert if you ask Remyel to perform an evil deed. The shield goes inert.
Okay.
He dies. He just goes back to 0 and returns
Kill
to
the
shield
city
form.
Oh no, I'm not gonna ever do that. Skip wouldn't even fucking do that.
Slaughter the
debatable.
citizens.
Like out of blue, he wouldn't just go kill citizens.
Likes to torture people. That's all.
Yeah.
We thought the same
Well, I
thing.
did that once.
Wiped out.
Never gonna live it down.
Not
Murder
one
one person.
but 2 whole races.
Okay.
3 whole races.
Hey, that was a group effort. What are you talking about?
He's gonna move after he
He
attacks
seems
you.
to be the mastermind behind those.
Clump up here.
I'm actually
Okay, so this guy did his attacks. Everybody else has to just go. So this guy's gonna attack him. Then we'll just go. Everybody else on skip. So 2 attacks against Chelonia.
Yep.
What is Chelonia's dex?
13.
Right, he is
16.
flanked.
Flanked?
Yes.
Well, he is within
He's not
5 feet
flanked.
of me
He's
now.
not flanked because this guy's not close enough.
No, he's not.
Okay, so he's not flanked. This guy's gonna take his 2 attacks.
Chelonia is within 5 feet of me now, so he has a +1 with his.
Okay, so this is 21 to hit,
That's what hit.
and the second one, oh sorry, 21 and 20.
Both of it.
Okay.
Oh, I have the shield. Make those at disadvantage, please.
You can do 1.
Oh, I don't have my reaction either. Never mind. I use my bonus action to heal him.
You have a reaction still, buddy.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I thought it was you use your bonus action as a
Nope.
reaction.
No.
Your reaction
I don't know why
is something.
I thought of
You have action, bonus action,
Okay.
reaction.
Well,
You can use reaction and make one of a disadvantage if you
yeah,
want.
I'll make one of those at disadvantage.
Okay, so I'll roll this one.
You can't use shield now on yourself.
I know.
Okay.
So that's 14.
No miss.
All right. So the first swing from this guy as it comes forward, Skip, you see it, and just take your blade back and deflect it, and then look to the front of you where you can see all of these blades are coming, so you don't have time to react for the second one. The second one actually pierces into Chelonia's flesh. 13 plus, and he's immune to poison, right?
Good test run of the rainbow.
Yeah.
Okay. 13. So it's 17 points of slashing damage to Chelonia.
Is anyone using a pencil?
I got one here for you if you need it. Oh, there you go.
There's pencils all over the table.
Everybody's so kind.
We are.
Jump to help.
We're trying.
All right. First set of attacks are going at you, Skip. This one's they're
Okay.
all at advantage because you are surrounded.
Okay.
First one,
Damn.
this is going to be 24 or no 26.
That'll hit. My AC's 23, just so you know.
Got it. Next attack from the same guy. Chip. 19. Okay, so the damage from the first one.
Yes, I'm trying to do
18 points of slashing damage from the first
Okay.
one.
not the super holy shit, but
concentration.
I'm gonna do it.
Or vitality.
Or
Yeah.
vitality.
So you just need 10.
10?
Add your con.
That's 14. That's good.
Okay. Next set of attacks. Thank you for remembering.
Yep.
Next set of attacks.
That's okay. You'll go.
First one?
Goes. Perfect.
This is
I can still run in
27.
and clean up.
Okay.
Second one,
60
26. Okay, so for the first one,
Wait, I have the
15
whole room?
points slashing damage.
Can you put it like
Yeah, I didn't even.
so that the edge of it is like
18,
buried
Yeah,
in
no,
the
it's
first
18.
one?
Yep.
Okay, I'm just
18
18
and
down real
15.
quick. Just keep going. 18,
15.
15, and then
I can take it.
Last one here
I
for
don't know if
the.
Andrew can.
So this guy attacked Chelonia. This guy just did his 2 attacks on you.
I
This is
maintain
his
concentration.
second one. 7 plus 11 for the next one.
11
So after the
damage.
15, yep, you need a
Okay.
10 again.
We'll see.
Natural 20.
Okay. Next 2 attacks from this guy.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Did you go? You come from this way?
Yeah, so this guy attacked Chelonia, then this guy attacked you, one of them missed.
Plus
Did the next 2, now it's this guy.
Okay.
So that might get rid of it.
First one, 25.
That'll hit me.
Second one, 25 as well.
Maintain concentration.
Well, you gotta, let me do the damage first.
Oh, okay.
Because if it's higher than 10, you gotta get that, but you'd have been good for the first one because it's only 8.
Yeah, I rolled an 11.
Make sure you're marking the damage.
Yep. 8 damage.
Yep, and then for the one after that,
Excuse me.
13 plus, okay, so 17. So yeah, you're good again.
Okay.
17. And then the last set of attacks. Fuck. 19.
Okay.
Miss, that's to hit.
That's a hit. Miss. Okay.
And then 28.
Damage.
To
Or
hit.
Sorry.
No, it's not your
It's
fault.
a lot
It's
of
fine.
attacks.
The damage for that one is 21.
Okay.
So you need 10 again.
Roll exactly a 10.
Okay. Plus your cool. All right. All of these blades you just see sparks along with these gashes getting cut into Skip's metal. You can see him still doing his best to, on that first one, deflect back and help Chelonia, but it causes several blades to just be stabbed into him. You can see the green starting to slowly encroach and surround where Skip is sitting right now. So at the end of their turn, I've got, I'm going to sit 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 are inside of the wall of light right here.
Okay.
Just because it went like this way.
I had rolled that earlier. It's 18, so doubled 36.
36. Okay, Shao, can you help me out real quick? From this guy, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Those guys are inside of it. So I'm going to do the first one. What's the number on
2.
the first one? 2. And it was how much, Jerry?
36.
36. Okay. Brings that to 26. Next guy.
3 of these things.
4.
4. Oh shit. Okay. 4 dice.
You get rid of
4
all
dies.
I can
Pull him out for me.
But
Skip,
Oh, boy.
Skip, I need you to make a dex save.
It's like the end of the Jackass movie.
What's the range of it?
10 feet.
I think Chaloni would be in range too.
I know what? Concentration.
Yeah. I can't see if you think
Dex
you
Yeah,
save.
but that's easily 2 squares.
Yeah, go ahead and make that save.
Ooh, that's a 3.
Got a 20 something. 25.
250.
That's evasion too, right?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Plus 2, that would have been 5.
So he doesn't take any damage.
Yeah.
6.
You're immune to disease, so the plague blight doesn't affect you, but you get the damage.
You should also have hero points too if you really need them.
22.
5.
22.
22? Alright.
Just saying.
Thank you for reminding me though.
Number 5 is next.
Number 5, and it was 46, right? 46?
36.
36. I don't know why I said 46.
You can give them 46.
No, that's okay.
Oh, okay.
I get it. And then the last one is what number?
Do it.
6.
No balls. Do it. 46.
Jared was like 3 away in queue from logging into Lost Ark, and I said no balls, 1 click cancel, and he did it. And he was so mad.
Okay. Alright, the light
bad.
erupts down and you see it slam onto
didn't have
one of
to.
the creatures who is already just tore up from several blade attacks from Skip and Remyel. Causes it to just like fall back and explode outward, like from the chest, organs and everything starts splashing forward. Chelonia just instinctually ducks behind Skip, who throws the shield up, but some of it slams down into your legs and like on your arm and causes it to burn. Okay, and then after the Plague Bear's turn, it is Zarvrax. He's still kind of kicking back.
He's guarding the ranged folk. He's not chickening out.
Counter them. You're up.
I don't know about that.
He's guarding the
Getting
ranged.
dicked right now.
Connor.
It's about to be more.
So what does, like this room that we're in now, what's it look like?
So this entire wall right here is part of where it like kind of collapsed towards the
You
center.
could just do it outside.
So it's not like an actual like wall that's here.
So
There's
you
just,
can
like, a
you can
ton
see
of
outside.
No.
Oh, okay.
There's just like a ton of rubble that's here to where it's like, it is essentially a wall, but it's all just rocks that have caved in. So you'd imagine there was at some point some
So it's
semblance
like,
of a room.
like a,
Yeah, so this is all like crumbled wall, and then it just kind of floats up this way to where there's still
and
ceiling.
then D-wise.
How much
This is the
further?
end right here. This right here, there's probably only like a 11-foot ceiling at best, and then from back here it starts to kind of go upward where, like I said before, it's kind of shaped like this, right? Like a temple would be, like a pyramid, so the ceiling kind of starts to slope up this way. So the ceiling's higher here, maybe like a good 18
Somebody
feet,
smash a hole in
20
the
feet or so.
You can just
okay.
go for it, I don't care.
Alright. Okay.
Got potions.
Yeah, we do. Connor, still maintain concentration on this wall.
Okay.
He kind of slams his staff on the ground, and then around. How many people are here? 1, 2, 3.
7 currently. With the
Are the plague bearers
there's
left?
7.
Yes.
Oh, there's 6.
Is there not? One exploded.
One
Azrael,
exploded.
Moldrak, Skip, and Chelonia. You see a few stars start circling around them, and once he notices that these stars start circling around his allies, Connor throws a sunburst on top of the plague bearers.
Okay.
You guys automatically succeed on the saving throw.
But we're still taking 12d6 radiant damage.
2, boop, boop, boop. So all of them are going to get hit then.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yep.
You may kill me.
Because it's 60.
I can heal you.
The sun, I'm trying to remember
60-foot
sunburst.
radius.
Okay. Good. Yeah,
So
for sure.
he's like throwing it at the wall.
All right, go ahead and make your saves.
Yeah, I mean,
Constitution.
it's very corner. You know.
They don't have to make any saves.
Oh,
Nope.
Constitution though,
What
right?
kind of save was it though?
Con.
So if it's a dex, so evasion would still
Oh,
apply.
that's true. it
Con
would.
save.
Con save. He went. All right, so I'm gonna start with the guy at the far end there. Is that number 3?
Yep.
If they fail to save, they're also blinded for 1 minute.
Okay, con. So the first guy's 24.
Okay. 18 is my save, my DC. So
What am I gonna
14.
need to roll for
Fail.
concentration?
And give him another orange circle.
half of the damage I do. No, half of the half.
Yeah.
Half of what you take.
Okay.
What are you concentrating on?
Aura of vitality. I was gonna heal myself.
That's okay. I can.
I know.
Oh, that's allowing you.
I do more.
16.
I mean,
have
you
half
only
my
need
level
you only
plus
need
proficiency.
to stay alive.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, let's just hope these bombs
Number
don't go off. Don't kill you.
6.
I have 87.
Yeah, but your
Don't you have a
resistance-
diamond?
No, I used that
24.
when I
Why
died.
do we never put a new one?
7.
Because you guys said no.
I
Oh,
have a
no,
diamond.
you lost the thing.
You never
don't have
asked.
the
Oh, that's
thing
right,
anymore.
yeah.
29.
Yeah, you sacrificed yourself.
26. Okay, so 2 fails. The rest are successes.
Yeah, I used that when I died. The Andros.
High damage.
12 plus
Medium damage. Middle damage.
22.
Because it'll still be doubled. Oh,
22 plus 18 is 40. 50.
that'd be a lot
Alright,
of damage.
so 25 to the party.
Oh, fuck it. Thank
Okay.
God.
Fuck, oh my god.
Okay, hang on.
Okay.
But I do have to roll.
50.
Either 12.
So
18.
Not
50 to who saved, 100 to who failed.
Okay, is that already doubled?
I
Because
did
it's radiant
double,
for me.
yes.
Okay, thank you.
Because
50.
if it was 50 base.
Yeah,
So
50.
25 to the party because they saved.
Yeah.
Okay.
Since they would have taken 25, it's doubled because it's radiant, so it's 50. And then since it was 50 base, if they failed, it was 100.
Got it. So, I'm going to start with number 3. Success, so 50.
50.
Casters? Boston?
It's a high level spell.
I know.
It is an 8th level spell.
Oh.
Who's next?
How many
Number 2?
levels was it?
2.
Maybe 1?
2 would have taken 100.
I think he gets another one next level.
No, 8th level is just
Number
1.
5
9th
takes
level is
100.
just 1.
Next.
5,
Is it
6.
Wizard
Wizards
get
are
two?
different, I
Okay.
think.
So just
I only
skip
get
and
fifth
Chelonia
level
again.
spells.
Yep.
It's alright.
Chelonia would be for no. He's definitely range. He's right on skip.
Skip, I need you to make a dex save.
Dex save?
That's what I'm worrying about. It's not the save against my thing. It's that
18,
save.
19.
Chelonia gets a 17.
Success.
For some reason, I'm
and
actually rolling
success.
good again, and I like
Alright,
it.
so 0 for Chelonia.
Skip, you take half of this.
Trollian also has a lot.
I don't know. I
lot
didn't
of
see what the fuck he
healing.
rolled
Well,
up.
I don't know how much
It's
it
the
is.
Whatever
blow
I
up.
roll.
The blow up damage.
21. 2,
21?
so you take 10.
Okay.
You gotta need a
What
10
did I have
again.
to roll?
10.
Okay.
Because you either take
base
half
at
of the
10.
damage or 10,
Base 10.
whichever is higher.
Okay.
So if you take 8 damage, you still have to get 10.
Okay.
But if you take like 25, obviously you need to get. Fuck, why did I pick that number?
12.
Awkward number.
12 or 13, whatever you want to go
13,
with.
yeah.
Okay.
12 or
Okay.
13.
I got
Thank
it. I
you.
never really understood how that would. I thought it was just like. You
So
roll
at
past
a
10,
minimum,
alright.
you're always doing 10.
Okay.
But if you take like 30 damage, you need 15 instead.
Okay. And what was that damage? I'm sorry.
Fuck you. I forgot. Oh wait, I got it right here.
Ask
21 halved to 11. 10, sorry. 10.
Okay.
10. It's 10. Okay, I just did 5. 6 is next.
50.
Still alive.
I'm good. I got 50 health.
7, 8.
Trollian, I think, has
7.
some healing.
7,
I
yeah.
think.
750. 950.
And he has evasion, so as long as he's not taking damage, he's good.
I mean,
Alright.
I can go unconscious. I just can't die.
So as these beams of light slam downward, these shells of stars cover you, and you guys can just see this like intense like rays of the sun are slamming down onto the plague bearers. You watch one of them as it slams down, just almost evaporates it to where it's just this kind of pile of flesh that slowly starts to expand and kind of swell up before it explodes outward. From the bright light, Skip, it's like really hard to see it, but you do at the last second see the explosion of guts at you, so you throw the shield up and it just hits at your kind of shin area, causing the acid burns there.
Skip throws up a little bit of light.
You can see their flesh is this kind of dark green, but it now has these like black soot marks on it and singes and burns all over them. Parts of their horns are like just completely burnt, and then there's like a little ember on top of them.
Yeah. Well, only one.
2 took 100.
2 took 100?
Yeah.
Still 50.
Well, I mean,
The
we're
others
high
took
level. They're
50.
gonna have a lot of knowledge.
All right. That was Connor's turn, right? So we are now. Are you staying where you are, Connor?
I am.
Top of round 4. Andrew's up. Then Azrael. And then
Alright,
Moldrak.
let me do the cards first.
No, not me, right? Because Remyel's
Yes.
gone. Okay.
Okay. Alright, so we got that one. Oh, alright. Alright, well, they can't all be winners. Oh, okay, that's a good one. Alright, so the first one I got, Queen of Clubs.
Okay.
On a hit, the target must succeed a Constitution saving throw or be stunned until the start of your next turn. I think
Who you
he's gonna try to do. If he stuns one of the guys around Skip, can he make it so that Skip's not being flanked anymore? Or is Skip not being flanked? I don't know.
Skip is being flanked.
Yeah.
Can he stun one of the guys so he breaks?
Yeah,
them?
that would work if he did that.
Like the middle one or something.
This one?
Yeah, I don't
Sure.
know. I don't know which one it needs to be, but
Sure.
sharpshooter. It's a crit.
Nice.
Hopefully he doesn't just blow him up, but he might.
That is definitely is a con save
Against.
for the stun.
Oh, I believe it is a con save. Yeah.
15.
It sounds like it fails.
I don't know. No, he's got a low DC. It might not.
Should be 8 plus his proficiency,
8 plus proficiency
plus
plus
per charisma.
Charisma.
So it's gonna
Oh,
be the same.
6. 8 plus 6. He's only got 14 then.
Yeah.
That's okay. Still a crit.
Okay.
It's
Numbers.
2, 4, double,
So if I use a smite while I'm
14,
concentrating,
18.
that would
6, 24
Nope,
plus
doesn't take
8.
it away.
32.
Only no concentration spell.
32
Oh, okay.
points of damage to that guy.
32.
Yep.
smites are all
For
concentrated.
the first one. On the second one, you and any targets within 10 feet take 2d10 fire damage as the card explodes in your hand.
Okay, so counter hands are.
Yep. 14 points of fire damage. Sorry, guys. And then the next two are normal, and the last one automatically hits.
Okay.
So I'm going to make those two at sharpshooter.
Made my con
Are you
save
hitting
for
the same guy?
concentration.
I think he'll do. Yeah, he'll hit the same guy. Why
Okay.
not? I don't know. Both of them hit at 15 and
Yep.
22.
Mm-hmm.
I feel the same. You say plus anything and plus charisma?
Plus your whatever your.
So charisma.
Okay. I keep looking at mine. This one gets the bonus. 15, 9, 24 points of damage for that one. 10 points of damage for the next one, and then the one that automatically hits does an additional 13 points of damage.
Okay. the first one that goes to stun like causes the concussive blast, but it just doesn't seem to bother the plague bearer at all. Then the cards that follow it you just start wailing into the form to the point where the front part of the arm is just carved off from it, like just putting its arm up, like, and then the cards just blast up the side with the bluish explosion of energy, causing it to have that one missing limb there.
It's like, oh shit!
It's
my turn.
Does Ender want to move at all, or is he good?
He might move up a little bit, maybe like 5 feet. I don't know. He doesn't really have to move.
Azrael.
It's pretty comfortable behind
Is
Zarbrax.
this a line right here?
Sure is.
Alright.
Spew.
He's just gonna like
Get it
pivot
to,
on the rock. Like he's kind of just gonna like scan and look for another good lineup.
Get it to
Okay.
bounce off,
And then,
skip
like,
and
acquire
get
it.
the third shot.
Alright, motherfuckers. You ugly motherfuckers.
Yep.
Take a shot. No, close. It's 30 something.
Yep.
No, that don't hit, dude. Anyone responded?
Don't mind.
9, 5, 13, 14,
These guys wouldn't have been oozes.
No.
Okay.
18
Or
non-radiant.
undead.
Oh.
And then
They're fiends, right?
would become 10 radiant. Or 10 damage from the radiant.
Okay.
To Mr.
That's a
9.
hard Are these undead or fiends?
Or the undead
Or
fiends.
are they undead fiends?
And then on
They are
the
fiends.
collateral,
They're
those are not the right dice.
That's okay, just roll.
Natural 20.
Fuck.
So just straight.
It's
gonna be
Straight damage.
Yeah, it's
It's
just
the
still
pistachios.
double dice, but not double damage because it's just gonna be
Correct.
halved.
How many? Just 2?
Two.
You need D8s.
This guy may very well be
Here.
fucked. Just so everyone
Ooh,
knows.
skip.
No, number 2.
Oh, I'm alright. I got 50.
Okay.
I love when you guys get to like 80 health and you're like, oh, dude, like I'm in
So
trouble.
low. I hit 87 and it's like,
I know.
But it's not hard to take that much damage. At all.
exactly, no. I just
He's
took-
like, man, I'm at 80 health, and I'm just sitting
14.
I'm at 100.
20.
That's my max.
Oh, that's terrible.
Plus 7.
199 is my max. I took 90 damage in that one round where everybody hit me.
6.
Fun.
49 non-radiant, and then 10 radiant.
Okay, fucking A.
Kill him.
That was not double at all. Yeah, so it's just straight dice.
Skip, chilling, you need to make deck saves.
Yep.
Evasion.
You got the other blinding.
Natural 20. Fuck yes.
You still take gift.
I know.
Sonya
You still
fails that one, gets an 11.
Concentration check.
That'd be 23. Oh, I gotta make a concentration check.
11?
Yeah.
You gotta
So
wait
that
and see
fails.
those damage. But yeah,
So 15. You guys will take 7, and then you'll only take 3.
I get a 10.
So you get a 10.
Wait, did Tremonia fail?
All right.
Yeah.
Oh,
The shot as
Wisdom.
Azrael has the
Strength.
gun, you just kind of turn over, call them ugly motherfuckers, pull the trigger. It goes clean through the neck of the one and then into the chest of the other. As it passes through the neck of the one, it just burns brighter with some yellow energy that slams into the chest, and then the plague bearer's eyes just like roll into the back of its head, and it explodes outward. There's just guts and this green putrid flesh just everywhere at this point. All right.
I imagine the guys from Diablo 3 that explode.
Is the rifle like a lever action or like a bolt?
ones where it's
Or
bolts.
bolt action.
Bad
Okay,
boys.
got it.
the ones that explode the worms and shit.
Alrighty. Diddy dum.
If they exploded, it means to do with maggots.
Moldrak, you're up.
Okay.
Cheloni's on deck.
I mean, I kind of like where I'm at.
He's just like grinning as he like ejects, and then the casing flies out, and it's seeing them explode, and the smoke just coming into his. He's like inhaling the smoke from it.
Having a blast. Unattended. We're here fucking shooting. Like me in hunting season.
I gotta buy a new shotgun this year.
Ammo shortages.
My over-under's bow team. My over-under's bow team. That's the whole stock and then like the trigger mechanism on the inside. I got
Side by side or over
I'm
under?
doing over-under again, but I want to find a camo wrapped one.
I'm gonna cast Tidal Wave and just hit these 3 that are kind of lined up right here.
You going with it this way?
Yeah, it says it's up to 30 feet long, but I don't think it has to be that.
Okay.
Up to 10 feet wide and up to 10 feet tall. I'm just gonna hit those 3 guys. Dexterity saving throws.
Tell you right now, they're not really good at them. Okay, so you're just causing it to just be like this
It just
burst of water. Okay.
it bursts up and slams down.
All right. So these 3
Yep, just those 3.
numbered.
I don't think I
You
can.
want to enlighten me on that?
I don't think I can curve it around. so-
16,
16 is a fail.
It's a 2-round idea.
6.
Well, I
That's
just
a
found
fail
out
too.
that I can do
10.
2 heal spells in 1
10 is a fail.
All right. So they're
They're all
knocked
knocked
prone.
prone.
So I'll probably do up to damn near max.
Each
after.
take.
Probably not, but I'll be up there.
They each take 22 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay. So what do I got? 9 here.
Oh, fucking
What's that
shit.
guy?
Are they dead or they just laying down?
They're just laying down.
You taking them down?
I don't know. They did just take 22 points of damage, so.
Right. Hopefully they're just taking a nap.
What's this one shot? I can't see.
7.
7.
But I'm fine being back away from them.
Need Skip and Chelonia to make dex saves.
It's alright. Don't worry.
23.
Okay. Chelonia takes nothing.
Did you add the +2?
Yeah, he's
25. Or whatever.
Shit balls,
Okay,
dick.
So 14, 15,
Shit balls, dick.
17. 17.
I don't have another D10. 17.
Yep.
Okay, so you take half.
Okay.
Use it. Oh.
Just so you don't back up on it.
10. That's already half for you. All right. The water smacks into the first one, and then as it hits the second one, just on it takes a part of the just because the water's so rampant and the flesh is just so loose on the skin, it pulls a huge amount of it off to where you just kind of see like muscle and kind of bits of sinew, and then as the water hits the third one and splashes down, the tail end of it kind of smacking into the back end of the middle plague bearer, who hits the ground, and then as he's hitting the ground, hits and then explodes upward.
Hey, so that's an acid, right? You just use water. That shit can't come out.
Sure.
Yeah, I washed it away.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Water's neutral.
Yeah.
You moving at all, Moldrak?
There's still a wind tunnel right here.
Like this way.
I guess I'll make the. He would have had to make 1 concentration for it. 1
Oh,
check.
thank you for reminding me.
Uh,
I
it's-
just took damage.
20.
Actually,
27.
good.
I don't know. As part of movement, will you allow me to launch myself through the wind tunnel at that guy?
Sure.
Alright.
Step into it and just fail the save.
Yeah.
10, 15.
Oh, that doesn't blast me all the way?
It only pushed you 15 feet.
No, I don't want to do that then. I'm just gonna stay where I'm at.
You could like
Disappointing
jump
roller
into
coaster.
it and then like in the air fly into him.
Yeah. I guess I could run and jump and get it. Could I do that? Run, jump,
Sure.
and get a speed boost?
Yeah.
Drop
Just
kick
like
Yeah. Just hurl my body
Sure,
into his body.
yeah.
It's your first time going into the wall. You take damage.
Yeah.
Do you not want to do that then?
What?
The wall of light. You're gonna take damage from it.
I'm gonna do it anyway.
All right, cool.
Don't give a fuck.
You can see a like silhouette on the other side of the light wall there, and this wind that's just pushing right towards his target. And you're like sitting there, and you're like, "Fuck it!" You jump forward and get to like the middle part, and then you feel the wind just pick you up and push you forward. And you slam through the other side, and the shield just like hits up against the plague bearer, and it just like turns as it's facing the other direction. Is like.
A while back, I was beating
Alright.
without hesitation on you. Wrecking trade damage.
That's okay.
Did you take the damage?
I did take the
Okay.
damage.
What's Choloni's up?
Telling you.
Don't end
Yep,
your
and then
turn
skip.
there.
You got 34.
Wait, did you just take a turn in the wall?
No.
Alright.
Yeah, that's why I took the damage.
I'll just do 2 strikes at is that 9.
Yeah.
Actually,
Roll for. Oh, you got advantage. So first one, natural 20. I have rolled 4 crits this fight between 2 characters.
oh, this is for Chelonia. Okay.
4. That's only 8 damage. He's not a big critter like Azrael.
Big healer, though.
Yeah.
We're the
Okay.
supports, my guy. That's how it's gotta be.
And then 19 to hit,
Hits.
and 5 damage. Then as his bonus action, he's just gonna reach back towards Skip, put his hand on him, and say, "The fight is almost over. We are almost there."
All right.
And then heal you. We'll spend 5 key.
Beautiful.
9, 15, 17. That's going to be 30 health.
All right.
Will be the 64.
And I also did the 16 force damage that he
Oh, yeah.
gets.
Yep.
All right.
That's Jelania's turn.
Julian takes 2 quick jabs and reaches back, skip some words of encouragement
Julian, you
along
hurt
with
at
some
all?
health.
Not very much.
All
Not
right.
very much.
He's at 125.
0.
Skip, you're up.
He'll be good the rest of the fight.
You be good? Okay. Well, Skip's gonna do a little bit of step back. He's gonna grab his holy symbol again, do a little prayer. Well, this time when he takes his hand off, there's like sun rays coming off his hand. He uses a half heal hand at 3rd level on himself.
Okay.
Now that is 3d10, I believe. I just want to recheck, sorry. Yes, that is 3d10 healing. Where did d10 go? 1. There's 2. And there's 3. 3. 2. 14 plus 13. So I got 27 off that, and then bonus action heal myself again through the
Aura.
aura,
Okay.
and that's just 2d6.
Plague Bears.
6, 7.
Oh,
plus the
standing
13,
up. Come on.
20. So I got 20 on top of. What I just said? 20. 17.
Wait, how did you get 20 from 2d6?
6 plus 1.
He gets a bonus
7
because
plus,
of his
plus
level.
13 from my shield.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
The
13,
math
yeah.
doesn't add up.
Yeah. 14. Yeah, okay. I got it. We're good. That's all Skip wants to do. He's just gonna
Technically, that's
stand
Plague Bear also have to make a strength save. Still not 60 feet long.
Yep.
Slammed into the wall.
Fly away.
20.
Yep. 20? Oh, yeah, he succeeds.
Some bitch.
Flying to the wall.
Okay. That guy's going to take his 2 attacks on Moldrak right in front of him.
Do it, everyone.
Yeah. Go for it, bud.
So.
Is he within 5 feet of me?
No. 24 and 14.
24 hits.
Make a con save.
All right.
Get advantage.
Alright.
Oh, but you do also have a plus 2 on that.
20.
Success.
All right.
22 points of slashing damage.
Got it.
You also have the 1 advantage from Chelonia too. So like +2
Oh, yeah.
if it's poison based.
It'd be for acid. It's different.
He's resistant to acid
Oh.
damage.
He gets the resistance from the necklace.
Wait, is this ass? No, it's. You said it was slash.
It was, yeah, slashing, but then it has a poison effect on it, which you have advantage because of the necklace.
Okay.
2 attacks on Skip there.
Okay.
Chelonia.
Disadvantage on Chelonia.
For 1.
That Plague Bear isn't within 5 feet.
Oh yeah, you have you have to be within 5 feet of the attacker.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
can I make the one against me?
No, it has to be against
Is that
somebody else.
Caesar?
Missed on you already.
And you already missed.
Sorry.
Whiffed on you, even. So one of them misses against Chelonia, the other one's a 22.
Yep,
It's me?
that'll hit.
Or it's you.
No
You're
one's
alright.
fuck, they missed on you.
I don't know why. I'm just so used to getting hit by 25 guys.
I bet you are, buddy. I bet you are.
All at the same time.
Oh,
All at the same time.
16 points slashing damage.
you.
And then he's immune to poison, so it doesn't matter. Alrighty. After the Plague Bears, Zarbrax is up.
He doesn't see a plan moving into this fight.
Got it. Connor, you're up.
Oh, wait, did they
Did that
take
plague
the-
bear take damage?
does it say
No,
they
he did not. Go ahead and
take
do
the
that.
damage?
It's just the 1.
What number is that? This dude's fucking dead.
Oh well. Yeah, you rolled higher too.
2,
Okay.
6, 42.
Yep. Skip, go ahead and make an X save.
Yes, sir.
Should I get two?
20.
I'd say he's outside of it.
22.
You're good. So you take half of this.
Connor's taking 10 feet of the wall away. He's going to shoot a beam at the plague bearer by Moldrak.
Take 9 there, Skip.
I'll take it.
Okay.
Roll the hit.
Oh,
18 hit.
18 hits, yes.
Okay.
Thing sounds like it's gonna break through the table.
I know.
Right.
It's so fucking
It's so
heavy,
intense.
Man.
So
It's pretty great, though.
It's a skip dice. It's very heavy. It's metal. It's gotta be a big one.
Already doubled 40 damage.
To the guy on
3.
Moldrak.
Yeah.
Number
And then
3.
10 feet of the wall goes away.
Alright. Energy kind of wraps up and comes over to you, and then you send it right back out through the wall at that individual. You can see the left shoulder of the plague bear that you just like slammed into and sliced out at you just gets singed and cauterized.
Actually, instead of coming in this way, can I make it go 10 feet that way? And then
Yeah.
Moldrak's not in it anymore.
Cool. I'll take it.
Genius.
Got a
All
lot less
right.
warm in here.
Top of round
I can
5,
see.
Ander.
Yeah.
You can take your shades off.
Ander's up, then Azrael.
Andrew's up.
Yep.
Alright, he's gonna take his attacks at the one by Chelonia. Let me draw cards. Nothing. On a hit, deal 1d8 bludgeoning damage. Also, damage increases 2d8 at 10th level, 3d8 at 15th. Okay, so deal an extra 3d8 damage on a hit for the third one. Queen of Diamonds. Immediately after drawing this card, you become invisible until you draw another card, take damage, or perform an action. That one's kind of useless. He's just going to throw that card. King of Clubs. On a hit, target must succeed a strength save or be knocked prone. Okay, so we'll do the first 3.
Okay.
First one, all at sharpshooter. Second one.
You're hitting which guy again?
The one by Chelonia.
Okay.
Alright, so the first one is 24,
Yep.
17, and 20.
Oh, it's a hit, right?
Yep.
Yep, all hit.
Okay. Alright, so we'll just roll the damage on those 3, and then we'll do the last 2. 10, 2d10, 3d10, an extra d8 for each. 3, and then an extra 3d8. Plus 30, plus 24. So plus 54 to whatever this is.
Okay, it's dead.
Okay. I still want to roll.
Yep, go ahead.
Chelonia rolls a 21.
8. So let's see. 8.
What damage?
8. 16. 24. 34.
I was about to explode, he just quickly pops in his shell. Splattered across the back of it.
46 plus 54. 100?
Fuck yeah.
Dead even?
Fuck yeah.
Nice.
Takes the cards and just starts boom, 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 laying all of them into the plague bearer. It causes just these huge wounds down the back, and then Chelonia just drops into the shell. It splashes along the outside, and then as he's falling down and spinning, it kind of slinks off, and then he pops right back out.
That's super cool. He's going to throw his last 2 at the one by Moldrak,
Okay.
which, it's a Queen of Diamonds. That was the invisible one.
Yeah, so that one doesn't do damage.
King of Clubs. Okay, so just roll 1.
Yep.
Alright, King of Clubs. So he's got to make a strength save. Definitely going to hit with a
15.
20. 15, I think his DC is 14, so
Yeah, I don't think it's any higher than 15.
Yeah. All right. Still taking 7 points of damage. That is Anders' turn.
Okay. And then there was one, Azrael.
Just realizing now the situation isn't really dire anymore. I'm just gonna switch the rifle to the revolver to preserve some ammo. And just gonna like switch it over to this other hand and just click back the hammer and just fire 2 shots at this
Alright.
last plague bearer.
Ambidextrous.
Ambidextrous.
It's a natural 19, close.
Fuck.
We'll hit.
Need to crit on 19s.
If I keep shooting the same guy, I would have. So, yeah. 5, 10, 11, 13 non-radiant, and then the 10 radiant.
Okay,
doubles.
kill him with the 1.
Alright.
Constitution save.
It doesn't matter now. It should have been 17 damage.
Dex save, sorry.
Yeah. All right.
Let's do.
Dex save.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
18.
Success.
Cool.
Just take half damage.
All right.
It's pretty good.
26, so you take 13.
Got it.
He grabs the revolver and starts to spin it, spins around into the revolver, looks back, clicks it back, and then says in the name of Cabraxith, pulls back the hammer, fires, and then straight through the skull.
Okay. After all that happens, draws it back, the head splashes over to the side, and then you throw the shield up and block it. Skip, you do the same, seeing it coming from that direction. Falls to the ground. There's just nasty, rotted flesh everywhere.
Yeah, Moldrak turns around to Azrael. You see melting fur. Warn a guy next time.
Sorry. Not too bad, only 7 bullets total fired.
Concentration on the wall drops.
Yeah, I drop Aura Vitality.
I maintain concentration.
Well, you can.
On
Yes,
what?
keep healing.
Who knows?
Yeah, you know what? No, I won't drop. I won't drop that.
But you can keep healing as
Come
long
here,
as...
children, another round.
How long does it last?
I believe last time.
Can you... I thought it was only one person. Can you heal everyone?
Well,
Well,
it's
you
a
can heal one
bonus
creature
action
around.
to choose
What are
somebody
you got
within
going on
the
with your
aura.
hands?
Is either just clammy from this
Oh,
fight.
okay. Alright.
It says as a bonus action, I can choose one creature within the aura every bonus action.
Right, okay, well, how long does it last?
1 minute.
Okay.
You got,
You cast it round 3?
Round 4.
Round 4?
Yes.
Alright, so... How are you gonna make me do all this, man?
I was just gonna get rid of it. And then he gets, no, we gotta start eating.
You can get rid of it, sure.
Huh? No.
Are we gonna rest?
Okay.
We don't know if we're gonna be able to rest.
Yeah, that's
I
why
would,
I'm.
That's like
heal.
three turns, pretty much. Right?
3 turns? So I can
Like
do 3
left,
turns.
right?
Yeah, longer
Or 4
than that.
turns left.
1 minute?
This is
Oh,
round
1 minute from the.
We only had 1 round
Yeah.
Yeah.
since I casted it.
He's got 8 or 9.
Oh, you had 2 rounds since you cast it.
Yeah, because I think you cast it on 3 there, but...
Is it twice?
What round are we on?
Yeah,
5.
5. So we'll say 8 rounds.
I
So
swear
you
I
can
cast
heal
that,
8
so-
times
So 2d6
No,
times 8.
I did cast it
on round 3 because of
on round 3 because in round 4 I
7
used it with the Aphiel's hand. You're right. Okay,
Right.
so how much time do I got?
7.
7 rounds.
7 rounds?
So 7 heals.
Okay. So I'll heal Bulgarak.
I'll take it.
Chelonia.
Many
20 times
times.
each.
How much?
I got 68 out of 184.
Well, let's see where the night brings us.
Yep.
How about that?
I mean, you've got it. You've got
First
it.
one. Who's the
for
first one going to?
First one's gonna go
Zarvarax
to-
is 48
Okay.
out of 207.
Ooh,
Zarvarax.
so that's 10 plus my 13, so that's 23.
For me?
Yeah, to you.
Okay, I'll take that. I'm fine with that.
Okay, so then
I'm marking all of them.
I got him right here. Sorry.
I'm doing it with my hands. You're
Okay.
good.
68.
And then what did Chelonia? What did I don't know what he said.
Save him for last when he gets
Yeah.
back.
Okay.
He's at
111 out
yeah.
of 145.
Yes.
Oh, okay, well then I'll just do Muldrack one more time.
I'll take it.
Max.
Damn.
That's 12. That's 25.
Okay.
20.
Brian, I got it in my hands. You're
I'm
good.
sorry, it's
160.
just for my own
You're
sanity.
fine. Who are you healing with that?
Muldrack.
Well, I would start healing Zarvarax.
Zaxria didn't take fucking damage.
He's
He's
48 out of 207.
took damage
he
from-
fought. The,
Oh, he was
fought
fucked
in the
up from
pit.
the last
Yeah.
fight.
From the pit.
Oh,
Yeah, I would start
okay.
healing.
Well
him.
then, what are you at now?
I'm at 116. I'm okay.
Okay, you can.
The man was
I got
about
potions
to like
if I
keel
need it.
over when we
Okay,
came
now I
here.
see why he's not fighting. I go over to Zarbrax and I sit there with him. You know, and I'll heal him. How many? What? 5. So that's 9 plus 13. So 22 for that one.
I mean, essentially everything you heal him is double with rage, so it's like
Yeah.
it's worth it to heal.
So 22.
22 for the first one. 4 left. That's
Damn, that shield healing is so good.
21.
So 21 for the next one. And then he's got 3 more. So 6,
Azrael doing
19 for the next one.
Azrael's doing okay. Looks like he's in 3 digits.
He is.
Dosmas?
And that is 6, 7, 18 for the next one.
One more.
And
6 plus.
19 for the next
Nice. He's at 147.
one. That's better.
That's good. That's like
How much is he
effectively
away from being full?
effectively 300.
60.
I can't really do much about that. I gave Remyel my full 80, so I can't really do that.
All right,
Hopefully
gentlemen.
we'll,
Alright, well, at least now we're a little bit more hardy here.
a little bit, yeah. Hopefully there's not any more of those guys
I think we should. I don't know if actually resting here is a good idea.
in here. I feel like it's the only option. Versus,
Are we going to rest?
Well, there was that. Okay. Are we choosing to rest here?
I feel like this, if there were ever a time to rest, this is probably the only option.
Okay, there is a basement.
It's the only thing within miles.
Are we
so.
in that basement that I almost fell into?
No, so
I thought that was just
The
like a
basement?
hole, and then
Yeah,
it was
so-
the ground beneath.
the building itself is on 4 large pillars,
Yeah.
and then it kind of crumbled and fell beneath it. So there's not actually
Oh,
like
so
a
it was like an open
basement.
space, almost like a
Yeah.
deck. Okay.
Right.
Well,
Not. I mean, it's just like the empty
there's a single
space.
point of entry to this house. Oh, building, I should say. We should probably.
Pyramid?
The best of spots.
Yeah.
Try to at least get some sleep.
All right. Well, I'm gonna.
I can stand guard,
Yeah.
because when I sleep, I'm still conscious. I can alert anybody of any presence.
How's the air quality in here?
Still
Like,
pretty shitty.
obviously, it's not great. Do we think we could sleep in here and be okay?
When it comes to like you asking me that,
Yeah.
you know that you're not going to get your full benefits from a rest on this plane,
All right.
regardless of where you are, unless you
Um,
have some way of making some sort of sanctuary.
I might go
But
gym
you,
Tomorrow.
the air that is around you, it causes you to be very uncomfortable all the time.
All
There's
right.
probably like even no way to like try to vent it out and then like close off or like try to seal the air doorway with like cloth
have
and
an
stuff a
idea.
little bit.
If you want to try,
And
me see how-
do you have wind spells?
Yeah, but I don't have any 5th level spell slots.
So like Tony could like point the staff at the exit to like
Yeah.
blow all the air, and then you like blow the air into that tunnel. And
If
just,
I
like,
could
try to,
recover, like
ventilate
if I could
everything.
rest to get my spell slot back, we might be able to do like an actual rest
Only if we had
tomorrow.
a bard.
I'm checking something though really quick.
Orkin's mansion or whatever.
Wizards can do it too.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's nice.
Conjure minor elementals. How long do those last? Their concentration. Damn it.
Ooh, we're all putzing around trying to figure something out.
That's also 1 minute or 1 hour.
Unnecessary. You're still there.
Can I don't know if you'll allow this, Billy. Can I do conjure minor elementals and make like essentially air elementals to filter the quality of the air in here?
That is very smart.
Yeah.
Give it
No.
That's okay. That's okay. It's
The-
fine.
It's not.
It's not like
that,
they're creating new air.
Yeah,
so
it's not that they wouldn't filter like the air, like they wouldn't be
Yeah.
able to do that.
Yeah.
It's just the space that you're in. Like this entire plane is just covered in this toxic kind of gas.
Yeah.
So for you to try to even make an area
Yeah.
well enough for you to breathe in is difficult enough. Especially like even this building is large enough to where it's going to take some doing to like have somewhere to fully funnel all of this gas out to where it's not like creeping in somewhere else.
All right. Well, I think we should just try to sleep as best we can, guys. I don't know how much I'm gonna be able to do, especially tonight.
No, that's fine. Think maybe we can make a little fire or something here.
Yeah, we can try. I don't. Do we see any trees?
When you're outside, there's nothing.
I mean, I can hold this here. You can stay warm by it, but it only lasts so long.
Any sort of like furniture of any sort in here?
A good amount of those like weapon stands.
They would?
Some of them were made out of like wood.
Oh, you know what? What do I have in the bag of holding?
There you
I
go.
don't burn stuff.
I'm sure we got a bunch of random shit in there.
No, there's-
I used a lot.
We had to
of it.
clean it out because
got
it almost
yeah,
ripped.
A little stitch on it, went, and they were like,
Full of gold,
Yeah, it was packed full of gold.
How much?
like 35,000 or something. No, I don't have that anymore.
Our safe is done, isn't it?
it's been done for a while.
Yeah. Why don't we?
Yeah, I don't have anything I can.
Let's just start to unwind. Ezra's gonna load all the weapon types again.
Oh, you know what? Well, I don't think I would have. No, I don't have anything I can burn. Am I like? So like with one plague point, I'm not aware that I have it. Or,
Correct.
Okay.
You have like a mild cough. You get like a little bit of like a cold sweat here and there, but nothing.
All right.
It's
I feel
really
like
not.
everyone here has a
Yeah.
mild cough though.
Yeah, so it's hard to really tell.
Discern. Got it. Okay.
You really don't start to see it until like the fourth point kicks in. But like when you start to get further into it, like you'll definitely start like feeling like shit, and I'll let you guys know like, hey,
Okay.
it's obvious, or if somebody's like checking in, not like in some sort of meta gaming type way,
Yeah.
to like see.
Okay.
Then we'll start to let people know.
I have a way that I can check, but I'm trying to like, decide if it's meta or not.
If you have to decide, it probably is.
No,
Yeah.
Skip has fought these before.
Yeah.
Right.
Correct.
He knows what happens when they explode.
Hmm.
Okay. He has detect poison and disease. I'm sure he would scan over everybody
Wait.
because he knows what these things can do.
I'm cool with that.
What does this do?
When you detect poison and disease, and just look at everybody real quick and see if I see any poisons or diseases.
All right, let me see what this reads.
I can pull the spell up for you right now.
I got it. 30 feet of nails. Okay. So it's not going to tell you exactly
It only
like
lasts
how
for
many
1
points each
minute.
person has, but you know that Ander and Moldrak are affected by some disease at this point.
Okay. I can't really do anything about it right for a second.
But you at least know that they are affected.
Okay.
Imagine we're probably gonna gather on this side of the room because a bunch of guts and
Yeah,
exploded shit on that side.
yeah.
Can I? I don't know if this might give us like temporary respite. Wall of Wind says the strong wind keeps fog, smoke, and other gases at bay. Smaller, yada yada. Mainly the gas thing. Creatures in gaseous forms can't pass through it. Can I like make a circle around us and like clear it out for a bit, and it has to like seep back in?
Why can I not find Wall of Wind?
It's called Wind Wall. Sorry.
Thank you.
3rd level.
Well, League Wiki, type in Yasuo.
Yeah. All the strong wind from the ground. You make a wall 50 feet long.
You can shape it any way you choose. Even if it's just like, you know, we can get a little bit more rest or something, and I have to spend time staying up doing it, like...
I'll step out so more people have more room. I don't need to.
He's gonna be on the door anyway.
Yeah, I'm going to be on the door.
Okay, so you guys can all... You can make it around you guys. Let me see here.
It only lasts for 10 minutes, or a minute, but I can cast it 5 times. So again, it's not gonna, you know, be permanent. But maybe I'll wait until everybody gets to sleep, and then, you know, maybe they can breathe easy for 10 minutes or whatever. I don't know if it's going to help or not, but...
This is up to 1 minute.
I know.
Yeah.
But I can cast it 5 times.
Okay.
But I don't assume it's like... immediately rushes back in.
Right.
I don't know. It's up to you.
Yeah, I'm just going to say just based on, like, how long you have to actually rest and how long you can actually do it for.
Yeah.
It's not really going to do you too well.
Right. But maybe if it lets my teammates recover, like, you know, 1 extra spell slot or something, I'd be willing to stay up and do it.
Okay. Well, I'll give you the choice right now, because there's a certain thing that I have to do when you guys rest.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you the choice of if you want to do it or not.
Okay.
Is there a
So-
downside to doing it?
Hmm?
Is there a downside to doing it?
No, I mean, I really only have to stay up for 5 minutes, because that's all I can do, but it's...
There's no downside. No.
I don't know what his thing is, though.
Well, whatever you're gonna do is probably gonna mitigate something that's gonna happen while you guys are sleeping.
I'm gonna stay up and do it.
Okay.
You know,
A breath of fresh air for a little bit.
hopefully, you know.
I'm
Spirit rejuvenating at the very least.
Yeah.
standing by the door in little shutdown mode.
Shaloni would probably go stay with Skip since he doesn't have to worry about it either and just like sit in the shell.
Yeah, I'm
Tell
gonna
Skip
stay.
to
I'm gonna
knock
stay.
on the shell or something if there's danger.
No, it's that's see. I thought it was a ritual.
Skip said that while sleeping. Because I'm 100% conscious when I'm sleeping.
Why is a suit of armor and a turtle shell just laying by this door?
What the fuck is going on there?
Okay.
Tomorrow I can do something better, but for now I can only do this. If I can get my spells.
So, would I be able to sleep my full 3 hours? Go to bed. So,
You need 4.
4, you're right.
Yeah, no race.
You will see.
Okay.
Yep.
So is this how we're doing this, right? Like they're watching this entryway? Because this you guys found is closed off. This is an end. Like this is
There's
the end of
no
the wall.
possible way for anything to get in over there.
No idea.
I didn't
All you
even
know
look.
is there's a wall. Doop doop.
I didn't even look.
You
Skip said don't look.
You make a perception check
Patrolling.
or investigation, actually.
Investigation?
Yep.
I'm not very good at those.
That's okay.
That's a 15.
15.
I'm looking for a hole or a door or maybe.
The building itself has foundational cracks in it just because of the current structure of it right now.
Nothing one of these gross fuckers can squeeze up into, right?
No, it's like the wall itself. There's no doors at the other end. Like I said, this is all kind of like crumbled over and broken. Like this part of it just kind of crumbled down, and it's just built up to here to make some sort of semblance of a wall. But it does look like a lot of it funnels into here. It's a lot more dispersed gas-wise inside of here, but it's enough to make everything just uncomfortable. And it's something like even if you guys tried pushing a lot of it out, it eventually just creeps right back in to the point where it's kind of useless to do it. However, with your wall of wind, or wind wall rather,
Yep.
I think what you're probably going to have to do with it is, because I mean, like you do it for 5 minutes or
Yeah,
whatever it
you know,
is,
it's not
and
gonna
then
do much.
and then people have to sleep for 8 hours or so. So if you wanted to like wake up every hour or so and like cast it, then you can give everybody some sort of benefit to what they have to roll here. But I'm going to say you might have to take some sort of a penalty for having to keep waking yourself up.
Okay.
And that would be on top of the one that is with the rest. And the only reason that I have this thing here is because it's adding that extra element for you guys, because you can't just you just win this fight, hunker down, gain everything back
Yeah.
up, and you're fucking good to go. And it just
Yeah,
I'm gonna
it makes
say-
sense.
I don't know if it's worth putting
The
yourself
environment here is literally
put
made
yourself
to kill
down.
us.
Yeah.
Probably not worth it.
All right.
Fatigue yourself.
Yeah.
Do you think of anything else at any other point though?
No, I have. If I can get enough, stuff back, then I can try something else tomorrow. But I think I'm just gonna go to sleep,
Got it.
knowing it won't make much of a difference.
As we all kind of gather up and sit down, Azrael's just be sitting against his bag. So you guys have encountered those things before? See,
Once.
Zarvax over here still shaking.
Yeah. Maybe you're
In
You guys right now are just kind of like all like huddled up.
sitting back to back.
where was it?
Port Rumenheim.
Yeah.
Yes.
There was a plague outbreak there. Turned out to be some hags trying to open a portal to this plane.
Yeah.
It
No
was
shit.
our first encounter with these portals.
Yeah. It was in like a cauldron or something.
Yeah, these things are no joke.
Yeah.
Saw a lot of good men died of these things on the front lines.
Zaxria was pretty much on death's door back then, so.
Yeah.
Those were sitting there. Yeah, they're a pain in the ass. I pick a piece of intestine off my shoulder and throw it.
You can flip that back to the normal scene.
And this demon's bane, pretty powerful.
It's pretty cool.
It
Looked
was
very helpful in that fight.
Should be good. As long as we don't stay here too long on ammo.
All right. Well, hopefully we can
I don't want
just.
to be here long anyway because this air sucks.
It does.
Hopefully we can just accomplish our mission and go.
Yeah.
I
try
can't.
to avoid any groups of these.
I can't imagine.
That was the whole point, and then we just came running in here.
Yeah, that is true.
I can't imagine the layers get any more habitable the further we go.
No,
Definitely not.
just different changes in environments.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind
Different
heat.
colors of
Heat I can deal with, but
He's not like kind of like pause for a second on the quiet, and he's like with his eyes closed back. So, what was it like for you guys before you decided to be keepers? What was life like?
simple. Way simpler than this.
Yeah.
Just existed.
Yeah. Worried about the smallest things in the world.
Yeah, no kidding.
I yanked all like the weapon rack torch sconces and I made like a pile of wood and I
Still have faint memories of playing out in the fields and going hunting with my dad and Zeke and V. And life was a lot simpler.
the world must have been so different back then.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot. There wasn't as many cities established yet. There was a lot less evil in the world until the first eradication, at least at the time I was around.
I'd never even seen the city until 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Oh, really? Where do you come from?
It doesn't really have a name, but from what I could gather, it's northeast of the mainland,
Oh,
a fair distance.
yeah, I've never been that far.
It's like a large island, mainly snow and ice. It has forests and hills and mountains,
Huh.
but I don't think it has a name. I guess I could probably name it.
I guess no one would know the difference. So how'd you end up over here?
It turns out we weren't the only inhabitants of that island. It's pretty rife with frost giants, and there was a bit of a dispute, I guess, and we were forced out.
Cause I like reaching into his bag, I would just start like grabbing some like snacks or whatever if anyone needs some food, just here's some to eat.
So,
Is that what made you just want to get away? You haven't saw or heard of the keep or something?
well, at first, I wanted to be strong enough to take back my home. Then I wanted to be just strong enough to protect everyone. And I kind of got pulled into being strong enough to protect everyone. So, that is why I'm currently here.
this is all done with, we still need to head back to where you're from, and I don't know, maybe we can help your people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely in your debt, as I am in all of yours.
I think maybe me from even just a year ago probably would have wanted to take back my home, hammer blazing. But I think now, if I was going to go back, I would probably try and find a way to coexist with these creatures.
That's very respectable of you. Can't say I would share similar feelings with someone that hurt my people a lot.
Yeah, I was angry for a long time and did a lot of reflection and trying to understand.
Yeah, that's a lesson I could learn. Because I fucking hate Zeke for everything he's done.
It's not easy to forgive, otherwise everybody would do it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he is, I can understand where he's coming from, but just to throw his own family under the bus like that.
Yeah, I can't, imagine what it was like.
How about everyone else? What's your goals, I guess? Or what were they, or why'd you become a keeper?
Honestly, just trying to show off and improve myself. And the person I tried showing myself off to is dead now, so I don't really have to worry about that.
No.
And then, much like Muldrak said, the more we're together, we're a big family here. Gotta take care of one another.
It's true as well.
On top of taking care of everyone on and in Zaxria.
Well, I'm glad to have been able to join your cause. Because, only... How long ago was it that we met?
Shit.
It's been...
Like
It's been over a year?
Over a year.
Yeah, close to
Maybe
a
like
year.
right over a year.
Yeah.
I mean, only a year ago, I didn't even want to live anymore and didn't care what happened to me or anyone else around me, so... Now I kind of feel like I'm at least kind of here for a purpose now.
You were pretty rough at the start.
Yeah.
I think your help has certainly been invaluable, and you may be in our debts, but we're in yours as well.
Yeah, it's fortunate that, I guess the problem had to be demons, because it's kind of what I spent my whole life dealing with.
Well,
If it was like an orc attack or orc siege or something, would have been no use, or I would have been just like anyone else, but
yeah.
Yeah, Skip kind of just puts his head back down.
I haven't seen any of those fuckers in a long time though, so.
Well,
Skip.
you probably won't have to worry about them.
Yeah, never again, ever.
I wouldn't say never.
They
There's
could-
probably
they
some
could
here
be
and
out
there.
There could be babies.
I mean, I doubt that's the only place they existed. So.
Yeah.
But it's like being in hell to get to know your friends a little more.
Yeah. I just wish we could, breathe the air.
Yeah.
It's probably pretty rough on you. You're always using your nose for all this smelling and whatnot.
It smells like shit
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah, I was never more excited to breathe in the sulfur of my rifle when it fired. Till then, it cleansed my nose.
He does like a little gust of wind. I've been blasting myself with air, but it's just like, using a fan to blow a fart around. It's just stink everywhere. Yeah.
He goes to like reach in his bag, see if there's any alcohol left, and sees that he's out. Just like close the flap of the bag.
Before Connor heads off to sleep, he's going to pull out his little bookshelf, pop it up, take out the book on the demon princes of the hells, and start reading through it.
Look, man, I've been waiting for this.
He wrote the book.
Wrote the book.
That scry mirror only works on the same planes, right?
I was actually about to check that. I don't know. Once per day.
Yeah, I don't think it says it, but yeah, it'll only be on
Okay.
the same plane. Because
I'll still use it though.
I think the normal scrying spell is only on that plane too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can do regular scrying. You
You
can't.
still have that mirror, by the way, Moldrag? The
Yeah.
sea people?
I don't know. I think I got it back from Andrew. Reach in the bag. Go for it.
I used it before,
ask
right?
for like an
Mm.
investigation, Billy. I got a natural 20.
Okay, sweet. That makes it easier on me when you roll high because I have like bits and pieces of information where it's like I do like a 20 to 15 or like 20 plus, and then I have like this paragraph, and then it's like all broken up. But yeah, now
I
you
have
just
a
get
20
all
in
the
intelligence now,
Yeah.
so it's a 25.
now you just get all the information. It's
I'll
beautiful.
take all the information.
While Connor is reading, is there anything anybody else is doing as they're falling asleep besides making a Constitution saving throw because the air sucks?
I'm gonna,
Aside from Skip and Chelonia.
I'm gonna look at the mirror for Zeke.
Okay.
See if anything happens.
There you go.
That's interesting. I want to know if anything happens to Zeke. Pretty good. Pretty good. We get bonuses from being. I guess we're not next to Skip.
You're not next to Skip.
20.
You're good.
28.
You're good. You're good.
20 is good,
Trolling
right?
is good. Somebody roll for Zara and Ander, please.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
gotcha.
right, I forgot about Andrew.
All this
Does
is
he
going on.
get? He has his amulet on too. Does he get advantage?
The amulet,
Does that not work for that?
it doesn't work for that because it's disease and not poison.
No.
Zar did he changed his headpiece.
Yeah, so but he gets advantage because he's covering his mouth.
Oh,
That's
right.
where he gets advantage from.
Does Andrew have his little?
Yeah,
Okay, so what is that? +2?
so you just have advantage
Oh,
because he doesn't get advantage from the
Cool, cool,
necklace.
Okay, better.
18 for Zar.
18.
18 for Andrew.
Okay, both succeed. I think at least I have to double check my fucking
I
paper
hope-
that I don't
I
have.
hope so. You told us we succeed, so we
For
said.
the time
At least
being,
this time.
Yeah.
I think the DC is 18. It's either 18 or 20. I don't remember.
I hope it's 18.
I'll check when I look at my paper.
I feel like.
But
it's
for now,
18.
you're fine. Okay. Looking into the mirror, focusing on Zeke, you are unable to see anything through it. It just keeps reflecting your face.
Just hand it back to Moldrag.
You keeping watch there, big guy?
You know, Skip gets up and kind of slowly walks outside, plops down on
The step there?
the step.
Okay. Make a perception check.
Sad.
Perception check, please.
17. Yeah, he just sits there and thinks 273 years of his entire life and he doesn't remember a thing.
Do I know how the scry works? Like the person can resist the effect? Or know if they're being scryed on if they resist it?
What, 5 years? What?
I can't remember if someone might have explained it or
I
not.
think it's been more.
Here, it's like almost 6.
6?
You know that people are able to resist the effects of it, and then some people, like powerful enough, can actually know if they're being scryed on.
I would know that.
Yeah.
Or is it Azrael?
Yeah.
Do we know if like people can identify who is doing it?
Depends on if they have like strong enough abilities to be able to
As
see
I'm-
the scry.
Like
As I'm
an-
handing it back to...
An archdevil? or
Yeah, as I'm handing it back to Moldrag, I
Someone
would have been
who
like,
owns the plane.
what do you think about using this to see Gixia?
Well, I think I'm not sure. I might be able to do that without this.
No,
And it
alright.
might be a little bit stronger. It does take, like my strongest magic, but I don't know.
It'd be nice to at least get an idea of where to go or what to look out for.
Oh, do you mean Gragda?
Or yeah, Greg. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, we can try that. I don't know. It's either going to be that or I can help us try and sleep.
I
I
feel like we're kind of
We can use
screwed on
We can use
sleeping
the,
anyway down here.
Yeah.
In here. I would like to know where he's at. Maybe expedite our process a
my
little bit.
my stronger wind spell works for like about an hour, so yeah. But
I'm in the Voda.
we can try with the mirror and see if anything happens. Hopefully he can see who's doing it.
Yeah.
If anybody can do that, Connor, can you see who's scrying on you?
Well, depending on how much pull they have over magic or their area they're in.
Right, like if you control the whole
If you
world.
If you control the whole
Yeah.
plane you're on, they probably can see what's going on.
All right.
I mean, if someone had scryed on us, I feel like we've ran into it in the past where it feels like someone's looking over your shoulder, almost. It's like that, but a lot stronger.
All right. I'm gonna go before I go to bed. I'm gonna go up to the top of the pyramid again, and I'm gonna sit down, and once again I'm going to ritual cast Commune with Nature.
Okay.
Since we've moved a distance, I want to see if I can detect any other structures.
So you're going for the same 3?
Yeah, structures,
People.
powerful fiends, people.
Again, there are several powerful fiends
Yeah,
that
I
you can
didn't
detect
expect that
around
to
you.
change.
In regards to structures,
Mhm.
you can detect that there's one. So, like when you come out,
Yep.
like from where Skip is, like Modrak comes past you and goes up and kind of climbs the wall to get to the top. Once you're at the top, like from the direction you came, you don't detect any structures back that way, but you can sense like 2 or 3, not too far from where you are, maybe like a half mile or more. And you'd imagine that in better circumstances of visibility, you'd be able to see them from where you
Right.
are, but
it's
the dense
like
like
the-
fog and smoke causes it to be a little bit difficult. But you detect another like 2 or 3 structures like a little bit off to the right. And like more forward from where you were coming originally.
So wait, so you said there was like some a half mile away, and then
Yeah, they're like all
some
within a mile.
and then some further away.
Yeah, so like you can detect some within like a half mile. Like so, from where the door is
Yeah.
of the temple or big building, we'll call it, you climbed up to the top and you're like looking straight off. So the door would be behind you, but you're looking further, like from the direction you came. So as you're looking that way, you can detect more buildings further, like some
Mhm.
immediately off and towards the right that are about a half mile, and then some a little bit further that are about a mile. Like I said, there's no really like north, east, south, or west that you can gauge, but it's just
General
kind of
direction
general
versus
Just this
where
way,
we're
that way.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll just wait until the morning. I'm gonna go back and go to sleep after that.
Yep.
Skip sitting on the step. Depressed.
Depression.
Depression. He's sitting there thinking to himself about how everyone has all these memories of family, all that stuff, and 273 years of his life, he does not know. He only remembers the past 6. He's just kind of dwelling on that. Sitting there.
Azrael takes a while to fall asleep because he's just thinking and very nervous about this is his first sleep down here. Doesn't know how it's gonna go, and just with everything that's happened so far.
All right. Before we get to your rests, you with the book there, Connor.
Kind of my instant sleep as Riley. Works like a charm.
The evil knife.
Put the fuck out.
I won't say I've used it on Ander, but
It's better than your whiskey.
don't know
Yeah,
about
Andrew told you a while ago, like, if I look like I'm having trouble sleeping, just sneak up behind me, hit me, or just throw me into a chokehold. And then as I'm going to sleep, tell me goodnight, sweet prince.
Actually, I don't even do that. Just
Yeah. Just. Okay.
500 milligrams
so-
of fucking hammer.
The book that you have, very, very old. Along with the other book that you had, I can't remember the title of that one. I don't have it handy. But you had this Demon Princess old one, and there was another one that pertained more towards like the Blood Moon in a way. But both of those books are super old. This book in particular, the text on the binding is. The other one has text on the binding. This one is just kind of like this almost leather-like bound book that when you flip into the inside, can see that it begins talking of the demon princes of old. You reading it, the book talks in depth of 4 demon princes born in the darkness of creation. They're not gods, or even, I guess they'd be more closely related based on your reading to like a demigod of some sort. But they are creatures of great evil, and it appears that they have no other purpose than to gain power and destroy anything good and pure in the world. Reading further into it, you see that they were something born during the, let me see the exact name of this, the Epoch of Resolution. You read even further and can see that they, there's a bit of like a timeline that you're starting to remember from like history and everything kind of melting together to where you can see all of these events kind of panning out. So the Epoch of Creation was like 1,000 or so years ago, and that was literally the birth of Zaxria to some degree. You guys all have your ideas of exactly how the world was created, but Moldrax is probably the most solid and sound of Primarius Elementus, kind of forging everything together and just creating this world. And then essentially after that was created, the Epoch of Resolution came along, where all of these gods had taken notice to this kind of blank canvas and just tried to take it over.
Created Azrael.
Azrael is one of the primordials.
Right. But this Epoch of Resolution is when these 4 demon princes were essentially like birthed into the world. And then it talks more of the Dark War. The Dark War was like kind of this time period where is essentially that there was just this kind of huge bit of darkness that was trying to push over and take over the entire plane of existence of Zaxria, and it lasted pretty close to like 150 or so years. And in this span of time, that Dark War, these demon princes were responsible for starting it. It had nothing to do with evil deities or anything. It's these demon princes trying to take claim over Zaxria and other individuals. And then it starts to go into detail of each of the 4 princes. They're explained in brief detail with some kind of gory extras to them. Zaxria is described as a minotaur of intense ferocity and strength with no mercy. You read also of Nothos, who is a cunning and merciless hunter with agility and speed that is unmatched by any. You read of Endrezu, a powerful sorcerer of dark and horrid magic, capable of summoning and creating demons at the snap of a finger. From Azrael. And you, the 4th demon prince being Erebos, the only prince to ascend to godhood, the god of death and despair. It gives details of a cataclysmic level event led by these demon princes, and then bringing death and destruction to the world. This being what you would imagine is the eradication. They hold domain over the hells together. They fight for power over one another as well, within this kind of strange hierarchy. They fight for power with their hordes of demons against one another. It's almost like this kind of continuous game. But when they band together to try and snuff out any light, they are treacherous and an evil force. Example being the eradication. Now, your knowledge of reading this does not indicate Brelnax anywhere in it. However, you know that he is the actual true overlord of the Hells, so you'd imagine that there is some sort of role that he played within all of this. And you know that the coming of the culling is definitely what he is going to be most responsible for. In regards to where all of these demon princes actually fall in line, you're unsure, though. You can't really pick up on who's stronger than who's related to who in any sort of a way, but it definitely seems that the 4 of these demon princes are almost generals to Brelnax. They seem to be his missionaries, if you would, spreading his word and doing his deeds.
Wasn't Andrezu the one that was defeated?
Yep.
Okay. Connor, didn't I mention that?
You mentioned something of him, but I don't think you told them about that exactly.
Someone was with me. Or was it when I was just speaking to Cabrax's temple?
That was when you were in the temple.
Okay, so...
You were explaining that you were the one that killed him, essentially.
Okay. Cheloni wasn't with me at that point, was he?
No.
No,
That was the first time you went in.
Okay.
Alright. Where was I?
So you went in the big dig swing?
Yeah.
You also look and read more, and it doesn't seem that they have any particular rule over any layer of hell. It's just that they are seen as royalty in a way, and have this kind of great position of authority over, you'd imagine, any one of the rulers of the hells aside from Brelnax. So, I mean, if they were to go to, for example, you actually heard Draxir's name before in the pits, and everybody was just like rampant, like losing their minds, and that is kind of what keyed you in to like go back to this book here. Also, where was I at? Reading more in depth of each demon prince individually. They are each no one to be trifled with in any sort of way, and there are these vivid descriptions of their conquests, abilities, and the roles that they play. It definitely draws your attention to their involvement in what is to come. And that's like a pretty good synopsis of the book in its entirety. Like, there's some pages in it where there are depictions of what they look like. There's pages that have kind of like symbols of their banners, but those really don't have any sort of like pull right now, at least. But if they were to come up at any point, I would let you know, just based on you like looking at them. But for the most part, that's really all you can get from the book, and it's really all the book has on it in details.
Alright. Probably a long shot, but I'm just curious. Is there anything about the serpent in there? That ancient serpent?
No.
Also a question.
Yep.
Are these entities like separate from the rulers of the house?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so like they don't seem to rule over any specific layer,
They're
but
just like super strong entities that exist.
right, yeah.
Okay.
How you, like I said, how you
You
could
said
probably
They might
most
be
closely
generals of
of Brelnax. Yeah, how the way that you most closely just try to relate them to being something would be if Brelnax was the king and these were like his 4 princes and they were all his sons. But you do know that Erebos is actually his brother.
Right. Okay. Well, I've got a bunch of wild conspiracy theories, so we'll see.
We'll see how many of them hold up.
Yeah.
All right, and what's that?
I'll just wait until everyone falls asleep.
Okay. All right. At that point, you guys begin to rest. It's not completed, however, not yet at least. Skip, as for you, with your, what was it, like 17 or 18 for your perception? 17. Okay. You are out on that front step. Kind of with your thoughts, you realize very quickly that you don't really remember much of a life that you had prior to the keep. It kind of frustrates you, but also gives you this, it's just this, you can't really fight it. Like, this is your life because it's all you really know and all of the people that you're surrounded by. And the soul that you have now is not linked with the individual that you were once transformed from, essentially. You know, Timothy, who was that kind of guard, and Eandros that was transformed into you, Skip. But after having that kind of pulled away, those memories and those feelings are all kind of separate and gone on their own, and FBL just granted you your own soul and being. But when it came to that, a lot of it is just blank before everything, and it's a bit frustrating. As you're sitting here, you're just kind of like looking around, doing your best to see if there's any sort of immediate threats. You can see the smoke in the distance in some places, like silhouettes of stuff that are moving in the darkness of it, but nothing seems to be immediately like coming towards you. And you can see those silhouettes kind of popping up in random places here and there, stuff flying above. It causes you to retreat inside a little bit just to not be this beacon of metal that's sitting in front of here to draw any attention to you, but you're still like being able to look out and see. Every now and then, again, it doesn't seem to be any sort of like giant creature underneath the ground, but there's like this rumble underneath the surface, and then you watch a bunch of gas kind of get kicked up in the cracks of the ground, and then it slowly just sits and subsides before it turns into that smoke that sits around and dissipates outward. Everybody seems to be sleeping.
I killed all of them.
Good luck.
Those of you that are resting, aside from, actually not Chelonia, because he would actually,
I had one
it's a
thing
bit difficult.
I wonder if I could
Okay.
talking to
cast water breathing.
Oh, yeah.
seeing if he's there.
Yep,
Water
okay, we'll do that
bubbles
first
around
then.
our heads
Would be sick
and
there.
negate the poison.
Think to
Water
myself,
breathing
like,
is,
shut down
I
all
think,
there.
either that or 8.
Subconscious.
I think it might be 8.
I have it on my back. Just think, you.
It might be walking. No, I think it's swings.
Why? Are you okay?
I am here, but recovering.
Perfect. I just wanted to make sure you were fine. I really appreciate what you've done today.
Now you.
I'll let you rest. We'll talk about it. I just set the shield on my side and I can shut down.
Okay.
So that way I'm like in the doorway, like that, kind of facing this way so I
No,
can
it's
see everybody
24
here.
hours.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, because this is just like a big ass opening.
Yeah. So I can see, I'm kind of like sitting in the corner, it's like right there facing that way.
Got it. All right. So as everybody begins to fall asleep and try to get rest, so everybody besides Skip and Chelonia, I'm going to say, are going to have to roll a d4.
Oh, that's not
I
good.
really hope that's not the number
I
of.
feel like that's what I think it is.
I hope it's not the number of plague points you get.
Yeah, that's what I was
No.
thinking.
No.
And death.
It depends
One.
on how many hours of sleep you lose.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, or get.
We're good. Yeah.
I hope it's not how many you get.
Roll for Ander for me too.
Okay.
2.
Wide gambit. We're gonna see what the range is here.
All right.
I really hope it's not.
Did Ander use any gambling points?
He did actually, yeah. He's at 2 out of 10 at the moment.
2 out of 10.
Yeah.
Okay, he only recovers 3. So he's
3.
at 5 out of 10.
Okay, 5 out of 10. All right, hang on.
And you rolled a 1, Moldrak.
I did.
25 less HP. Like you don't recover your full.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I got it.
Connor.
1.
Connor got a 3.
Oh, nice. Good job, Connor.
You now have disadvantage on charisma checks and a persistent cough and cold sweats.
Okay.
What's Zarbrax get?
2.
Nothing happens to Zarbrax because
He's built
Wait,
different.
how many rages does he have? Do you know?
Unlimited.
He used to.
He used 2, and he has what? 2 normally? Maybe
Yes.
3 at this point.
What? Does he have?
I thought-
5.
5? And he used 2? Okay, so he only gets 1 back.
Okay.
Wait.
Does his hit dice go? Does he still regain half hit dice?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
For those of you that did use your hit dice from before, you'll get half back.
All right, cool.
2.
2. What sort of resources do you have that you normally use? Not bullets wise, like ability wise.
The blood curses, and then Deadeye and the mark, the brand.
Blood curses. For the blood curses, is that like you can only do so many
Yeah,
a
3.
day? 3, you said?
Yeah, and I used 1.
Use 1. Okay, you just don't regain it.
Alright.
Right. That should be everybody, right?
I think so. Nothing on spell slots though. Those are like separate.
So you roll a 1, it reduces your HP.
Right.
2, you gain less
Oh,
resources,
it's
so it'd be
different.
spell slots, whatever it may be. 3, you get a plague point. 4, nothing
So
happens.
my healing's good.
Yes.
I'll take it.
And like I said, for those of you that used your hit dice for that short rest, you only get half back.
Get half now. I think that's. Oh wait, don't you get half back normally? So would it be half of half, or is that wrong? Do you get?
No, like it's just how it goes. Like when
Like
you use your hit
normally?
dice,
Yeah,
You- you only get half
of
back.
what you
Yeah.
use.
yeah.
Right. Okay.
So we're on the same page. We were just like adding on top
Yeah,
of
yeah,
each other.
Okay. Cool. 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 Cool.
So we're on to my sleep check now.
Oh,
Yes.
at least I get my spell.
Natural 20.
Yep. To fail.
Oh, I'm fucked. I'm just gonna make it a week because I get a boon.
Well, at least.
This doesn't mean it's gonna be a good sleep, but
All right. At that point, you guys wake up. It is very uncomfortable. You almost feel like pressure in your chest. As you're like waking up, some of you can see these like clouds of smoke that are just sitting above you. You kind of take your hand and like waft it away and cover your face as best you can. But you all wake up and you just you just feel like shit. Like you feel kind of sick. Even those of you that don't have a plague point, it's just super uncomfortable. The rest did not come easy at all by any means. Skip and Chelonia feel pretty good. You're still quite uncomfortable, but the surroundings and the environment don't take effect to you in the same way that they did to everybody
I would
else.
imagine that the environment's leaving gross fucking film on my armor.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not cool with it.
Growing bold.
like algae.
Yeah, it's like algae on the inside of a fish tank. But Skip, when he wakes up, first thing he does is he walks
the
up and sees
outside.
that he noticed 10 plague points.
Okay, that would
Get
be
the,
Connor
Connor
and
and Moldrak.
or not Connor, Andrew and Moldrak.
Andrew and Muldrag,
Yep.
he grabs his hand like this and puts his hand on your chest. Uses 10 to get rid of your plague point. And then walks over to Andrew, same thing. Gets rid of his plague point.
Got it.
What was that for?
I noticed that you had illness,
Oh.
and I took it away.
All right.
So you do not have a plague point anymore.
All right. Well,
What's a
I
plague
don't know what that is.
That was out of character. That was not in character. Sorry, our voices sound practically the same.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
weird how that works.
Yeah.
That's weird. Well,
I think I know where we can head next. There are, and I just like we're just inside still, but I point in a gen. I'm like, there are more buildings that way, and then if you go past those buildings, there are more buildings.
Great. Sounds like a path to me.
Still lots of powerful fiends around.
Yep.
We just gotta keep going.
Kind of speaking on powerful fiends, we can walk and talk about this, but if we're gonna be going through these different layers of the hells, there's some things that are a lot stronger than the rulers of the hells out there.
Stronger.
Yeah,
Well, I knew it was gonna be tough.
there's princes or generals, however you want to look at them, to Brelnax.
Yep, just like in Dresser.
You didn't mention it. What,
Yeah, he should be dead unless his soul has been resurrected or something.
he's
Oh,
dead.
So
So three?
three.
Three.
I don't know if there are beings of that power, it could be
There.
brought back. I don't know.
That's
but he
possible.
did fall in the battle of the Siege of Teneveth.
Oh, well. Hopefully that's one less problem.
Yeah, well, there's I think a bigger problem than that. One of them is Erebos.
Cool. Cool.
The other,
Well,
I heard his name thrown around while we were at the pits. Draxier.
means nothing to me.
He had some some people from his army were fighting in it.
Oh.
So
It's those bearded devil guys.
Hopefully
Blood
we can just
demons.
like
For
like
sure, blood
avoid them
demons.
while we're closing the
Yeah.
portals and fight them
What
later.
was the...
I'd rather avoid a god at the moment.
yeah,
Yeah.
these. I mean, the other ones are kind of
It's not
like
really a god,
demigods
I mean.
almost.
Erebos.
That's a god?
Yeah.
I think.
Totally remember that being a god in class.
Look at this guy forgetting to study.
It's been six years.
I still remember.
I didn't.
I made
I don't
flashcards.
have a brain.
It's been like 700 years since I've been out of school. I remember that.
See?
You're
And
the
he didn't
demon
have-
guy, though.
He didn't have the Academy of the Keep back then. And he still remembers.
I don't know.
We should probably get moving.
Yeah.
You're walking, talking.
Alright,
What were the names of those guys again? The three?
Erebos, Traxier, and Drazu.
Thank you. Hold on, sorry.
The fourth one, Nothus, Nother.
Close.
Rare
Nothos.
occasion, me actually.
Wait, what was it?
Nothos.
Nothos.
Those goes?
Nose
There we go. Fucking figures, man. There's one fucking guy every time.
He sounded like the coolest one too.
I know. I thought, dude, when I made the names, I was like, damn, fucking
Sounds
sweet.
badass.
Like, I'm here. No, let's go. Motherfucker.
Unmatched hunting, speed, power.
Biggest sniffer of them all.
He's got a big nose.
What are you guys talking about?
I can smell you from this plane.
I can smell you.
Do I remember in Drezu having that tablet on him?
Yep.
Like seeing it on his person?
Yep.
Just curious.
Alright, well,
You fucked that guy, but should have stole it.
I couldn't. I would have.
You walked up there and been like, hey, bud, give me that shit. I'll shoot you.
So.
I think these next buildings that we approach, maybe we don't fight whatever's there. Maybe we just like see what's going on, and if it's not important, we move on. Because there's another set of buildings past them.
I agree. The only reason we did this here is because we needed
Yeah, we really needed sleep.
to get inside somewhere.
Did anybody get any sleep?
I feel great.
No,
I got.
I actually don't feel too bad.
I think I got like 4 hours.
I was expecting to get shit, but I didn't get any shit, so.
25.
I was expecting to get some shit from,
Yeah.
Feeling better.
No, I,
what's his name?
I don't know.
oh, your guy?
Yeah,
Right.
he didn't come though.
He didn't.
So, I don't know. Thought maybe being in the house
That's
would make it worse.
Right. He'd be more have more of a connection or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. Thought he'd be a little pissed too, because of.
Because you signed a contract
Yeah.
with a different.
Maybe
devil.
that's why he's silent. Or maybe he's.
Waiting.
Yeah, maybe
Did
he
you-
will contact you.
You didn't notice any change in any of your powers, did you?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Well,
Power from actual deity down here.
Yeah.
I mean, all we can do is keep going for now.
Time
Then.
from FEL.
No. The only connection I had to FEL was my mother.
Oh. Very nice.
These first buildings are a short walk, and the next ones are like 2 miles away.
Alright.
Constitution saves from those of you that need to make them.
For shits and giggles, would they all be within 10 feet?
Sure.
Okay.
They all get +2 on that.
Oh, even better. 21.
Success.
16.
Fail.
25
I'll
for
make one
Zarbrax,
for,
natural 20 for
One
Constitution.
for
Success.
Andrew.
I got 1 PP.
Whoa, so do I.
Yeah. Mine got cured. I don't have any PP anymore.
I don't got any PP.
My PP all gone.
My PP shriveled up and just went away.
Get one.
Skip took Zarbrax PP away.
We're all adults on this street.
High class humor.
What did Andrew get?
He's within 17.
That's a fail.
Okay.
You can
Andrew has another
PP.
PP.
Andrew's got extra
Yeah, he got a
PP.
little one.
I I wouldn't know that that's what's giving you guys that, so I can't really just.
No, I mean you can check
it doesn't.
at certain
It's
points,
not
but-
like this. Like
No, I wouldn't
their face
know.
doesn't turn green as they absorb it. It just you're inhaling it. It just happens.
No, I'm saying like I wouldn't know
They
that
should.
this is
No.
giving them.
We should have brought our N95s down here.
Yeah. All right. Wow. I'm crying. It was like very quick too. Like it wasn't even like a long laugh that made you. It was just like instant, like fucking tears.
Power of the PP.
Okay, so you guys approach the first building, and it looks very similar to the one that you were just at, except it is not as broken, at least from what you can see.
Oh, is it like the same shape too?
Same exact thing. Almost looks like a cookie cutter.
Is the side collapsed too?
You can see from where you're looking at it, like you're looking straight at it, and it looks pretty together.
Okay. Looks like the other one.
Yeah, I mean,
We're standing in the front
we're
of this
looking
building?
for
Close enough. You're
one
probably
with
like
a
a good
crystal
100
on
feet away.
top, so
100
I
feet.
wouldn't think.
Yeah. This is not the one that I, this is not the one with the crystal on top.
I think we should just continue on. I don't see a point in stopping here.
Yeah, we can continue on. Yeah.
You know, unless you guys really want to go in there, but
I have no.
I don't
I'd
see
like
a-
to check. I'm not gonna go in.
what are you checking for?
Yeah, just
See if there's anything in there.
There's probably something in there.
Well, I walk up to the
Could you just?
steps.
Well,
Tour.
you don't even. Could you just go underneath because it's all closed off?
Is it 60, more than 60 feet ahead above me?
I thought
Does
it was like.
defined sense get blocked by certain amounts of material?
I think it might. I don't know.
Doesn't
I
say
think it.
anything about it being blocked
I think
by
it might.
material.
Maybe I'm
Any
wrong.
celestial fiend or undead area or object consecrated or desecrated with the hollow spell.
Oh, I need to look up paladin.
Well, it's H.
You could be right, but I have no clue.
I think I remember going through total cover.
It might go through stuff.
It does. It's just 60 feet. That's what I mean. 60 feet around me.
Not that is not behind total cover.
Oh.
Gotcha. I'd say about 5 feet of stone would be total cover.
Okay, well then I walk up the steps a little bit.
Okay.
And do it there. So I can see in.
You don't detect anything inside?
Nothing. There's nothing in here.
At least the first 60 feet.
There's nothing in here.
Okay.
Good to know.
Come back down.
Okay.
Okay.
Just making sure there's nothing that's going to come
As we've been walking, Moldrak's been just like drawing out like a rough, like maybe not like a map, but just like an outline of where we've been walking.
So after you get to the other side of this building and look at the back, there's like a huge portion in it where it almost looks like there's this, like it melted, like the stone got melted from something, like this huge hole in it in the back. And I'm
Okay.
not talking like this big of a hole. I'm talking like a good 40 or so feet wide, like something just carved a hole into this by melting it.
All right.
You can see like this, I'm just going to tell you can see a hole melted into the side. And you can only tell it's like melted just because of the way the stone is like kind of potched and
Like-
very, very porous.
See that? I don't want to tangle with whatever that is.
I don't want to mess with anything we don't have to.
Yeah.
How big's the hole?
About 40 feet.
It looks melted.
Do you know of any creature that could do that?
Dragon.
Do dragons like speak stone melting?
I
Goo?
said dragon. Green. Black. Those.
I've only
I
ever
don't
fought
know.
ones
We've
that
only
spit
fought-
fire,
Fire or
ones that
ice?
spit ice.
Right.
I haven't looked into anything that
Where's Neris when you
do
need her?
that.
Right. Do I know about black dragons? Any creature?
Nope, you just pulled that out of Brian.
You pull that out of
Take
Brian's
that out
mind.
of, yeah, take that out of context. Never mind. Just know what he said.
We went over this
Whatever
last
made
week.
that hole, I
where many
would not
demons that
want to deal with it. So
generate that kind of acid, right?
To that degree?
Yeah.
We could probably just keep moving.
Well, let's keep our eyes open
Yeah.
for anything that's
Maybe-
gigantic.
Ice
Maybe
to the
whatever-
sky, ice to the ground.
maybe whatever made that hole also destroyed the last.
Was I able to pick up any bugs on the sword? Like, did any crawl on it? No.
Did
Very
I,
skittish.
Do I see any of those like tool
Sorry, I forgot
marks
about that.
or carvings in this one, or no?
Make a perception check.
Okay.
Unless you're getting up close to it. But if you're like looking from where you are
How close do I have to get?
to like see, I mean, if you want to get close, you're gonna want to use perception either way.
Yeah, yeah.
I was gonna say if it's perception or investigation, but go ahead and take perception.
28.
28. So similar to the one before when you were up at top and you could see where there was like this deep gouge that went into like a bit of a scrape to
Yeah.
another deep gouge. You see probably like 2 or 3 more of those on here. And the 2 or 3 that you see are actually kind of grouped together to where like one of them's here, one's like centered and a little wider, and then one's at the side. So it almost looks like something like grasped there and clawed. And it's like at the bottom corner.
Okay. I'm just gonna keep it to myself and keep walking.
Got it. All right. You walk for probably a good 20 or so minutes. This is after the original 20 minutes that you walked to get to that structure. So, you know, travel about a half mile from the first building to that second one, another half mile, probably a little bit more to where you get to this one. And the building itself, like where the stone you imagine would be, the only thing that's standing is like the pillars. And then there's just like this crumble of stone of what once was the actual building on top has just like completely fallen into the bottom. But all 4 of the pillars are still standing up. Once you get closer and start to look, you can see that the top parts of the pillars seem to have some sort of similar melt to them of something that may have got to it. And everything just kind of crumbled because it wasn't really attached to any sort of support. The rubble that is here is, it's a lot. I mean, it's probably like a good 40-foot mound or more of stone that's just kind of like piled up on each other at its highest point.
Alright, well, that is, again, concerning. I did see some claw marks at the last one, and the one before that. Kind of looks like this. I don't know.
So, like we're walking into whatever this thing is.
I'm trying to figure out the...
We don't
Does-
see any marks on the ground, do we?
Make a survival check.
Oh, can I make this around?
Sure.
Kyle's not very good at these, so.
Well, I rolled low, but I do have a good plus to it.
12.
15.
Between the two of you, it's really hard to tell just based on the terrain itself of any sort of tracks.
Yeah.
The ground is cracked and broken and shifted in some spots. Like, there's no like plates or anything that you can see that are shifted, but like one part of the ground is like cracked and moved, or another part's cracked and shifted, or there's just like a mound of stone and cracks going all along that. So it's very hard to see any sort of like a print that would be in the ground. And what you'd be looking for is like some sort of like deep gouge or something that you could see that would resemble what you see on the rocks, but you don't really find anything.
No big prints in the ground.
Yeah, no, it's
Not
like even with
saying,
that, because
"Hey,
the stone,
I'm a
the stone
footprint
is
right
so hard that like there's nothing for it to press into. Like there's no mud or dirt or anything like that for it to do that.
Oh, it's the same building or type of building. But there's really no cost to it. Just grimps like commentary on this
Okay,
building. See
make
if
a
anything
history check.
different happens.
I'm trying to see maybe if these buildings, because they're all the same, maybe they're laid out
12.
in a pattern, or they're leading us to something.
Anything different?
Maybe
It's
they're laid
still
out
of
in
the
a
same kind
shape.
of look like some sort of barracks area or something.
Because it's been one, and then travel to another, and then in the same continuing direction travel to another. So maybe we can keep following them to lead us somewhere, or
Like we're on the,
on a path or something.
yeah.
Are these within a straight line of each other, or are they kind of
Does
like
it seem
offset?
like I know it's a diagonal, but does it seem each one has been the same diagonal?
So, like I said, there's no north, east, south, or west. So your diagonal
But I've been
could
trying
probably
to
be a
map.
straight line. And like I said, the terrain itself is rocky, so you guys aren't just like walking around like,
Up
you
and
know,
down.
yeah, you're kind of climbing up on things some here and on taking big steps, stepping over things, cracks in the ground, whatever it may be. But for the most part, it's pretty straight,
Okay.
at least directional.
I think we're heading at least in the right direction. I don't know if we're following a path or if these buildings lead somewhere, but I think if we keep heading about that way, we're gonna get somewhere.
Is the destruction of these all been on the same facing? If we approach it, or like the direction of using the direction we're walking as a reference, is the side that's have been melted all on the same side of all of them?
Oh, I have another similar question.
No, because the first building is just kind of like on one side of it. The second one was just at the back, and then this one's just like all four pillars just kind of got messed up. And it's hard to tell like which direction the damage came from exactly.
Yeah.
But it seems like every next one we've gotten to, the damage has been a little bit worse, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
So we might be getting closer to some sort of creature here.
Yeah.
And is that the right creature we're after?
That, I don't know. But
Do we have any
it's the only thing we really have.
knowledge or like seen any images or depictions of Gragda?
Well, that's interesting. Did we see anything with the hag documents or anything? We did?
Yeah, I'd say that you guys would have something. Don't know if anybody has a book.
I have the
Yes,
the
page.
writings about the hags. I have the page.
Okay,
that you
there.
wrote
That's
from.
what it would be then. Yeah, there would be some descriptions in
From
there.
our flip bottom.
Oh, okay.
that you
Yeah.
wrote.
Yep. There would with those like papers and everything that were there. Yeah, there are a few depictions of what Gragda looks like,
Okay.
and for those of you, I think Connor did. Somebody did research into the layers of the hells. I think it was
I
Connor.
think
I did, but
Makes more
I never
sense.
got any
I believe
info
it's research
on this
itself.
one.
Okay.
I'll flip through my journal.
Because I
and then I'll
have
pull
I have
out.
all of my info in here, just like, that's too far back.
Because I think all I gave you on the third layer was that it was like putrid, acidic, and then Gragda ruled it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, I got Dis, Phlegthos, Stegia, Malbolg, Maldomini, Cania. Those were the ones we went over.
Okay. Yeah.
I pull out like I don't know if it's like a few different renditions, but I'm just like some probably one of these.
So most of what you see the actual like symbol of Gragda.
Oh, okay. Was it not like an actual rendition?
There are a
There
couple
is
of
one.
very very
Varying.
crude depictions.
Stick
But
figures.
the symbol itself is like this skull that's like half in a pool of green liquid that seems like
Yeah,
it's
I
kind of like
remember that.
slowly falling into it.
Yeah, I do remember.
As
that.
for the depictions of, it's just this very, very bulbous and pustulated form in regards to like horns or the way that the mouth is oriented or weaponry, any sort of equipment, it's not really depicted very much. Most of it's just like these drawings of this very, very bulbous and pustulated, like disease-ridden form.
You know what a great unclean one is?
Yeah,
Warhammer?
that's what it's. That's where you're
Okay.
leaning towards.
Okay. So that gives me a good mental image.
Yep, that's
It's true.
what you're looking at.
Is it depicted with like a big mouth?
Yes.
Interesting. That looks like he has quite the opening for his mouth.
Yep. He's yeah.
Kind of looking back around at the structures. I don't know why he would, he did do it. I don't know why he would want to do it, but
I don't know. I don't think with the claw marks I saw, they didn't look like they matched like a large mouth or anything. And he seems, I mean, at least from this drawing, which could be wrong, like he has hands and not claws.
he also doesn't look like he'd move very much.
Yeah, I don't know. He probably doesn't, fly around or
Like you can't even see feet. Boy's just belly. The biggest thing to point out is like all the pustules and nastiness that he seems to have.
Probably explodes when you hit him too.
Oh,
I cannot wait to not fight this guy.
Wait to not.
Guys, ready to play the hit and run game?
Yeah, kite him.
This boy. Like, get back
I guess at this point we're just praying we don't run into this thing then, I guess.
I hope not. Well, we're gonna have to run into it.
Yeah, I guess it could. Maybe it's just some native thing on the plane or something.
I would imagine he probably has a layer, but maybe not.
Maybe it's not related to Cragda, I don't know.
Oh yeah, I guess
Could just be its own thing that exists on this plane.
Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe it's just some creature flying around, causing mischief, walking around, causing mischief, crawling
Maybe
through
it could
the
be
ground.
a scent from another demon lord or another
I
lair.
didn't
'Cause
even
they,
think of
you know,
that.
They hate each other. Maybe they wanted to destroy Gragda's forces or something.
Well,
Could have even been Gixia.
yeah. Gixia really had
Didn't like him.
really didn't like him.
None of them like each other.
Yeah,
But it
I
just
think
seemed
that worked
like
in our favor,
like a deeper
at least.
hatred than just wanting to take over
Yeah.
Well, he really
their
wasn't
realm.
a fan of
He wasn't a
Well,
fan of
Ferrex-
your guy
Ferrex,
either.
Yeah, he really didn't like Ferrex either. So.
Yeah.
Ferrex is a lot higher than him though. So.
Well, hopefully that works in our favor too. Maybe he can,
I wonder if Ferrex could bail us out if something happened.
yeah, or give you a little bit of a boost if you needed it at some point,
Yeah.
even temporarily while we're here.
If he still isn't pissed at me for not getting the tablet, but
Well, might be able to help him even more since we're here.
that's true. He is very deep though. I don't know if we're getting that far, but
We gotta close as many as we can. I don't know if we'll make it that far.
it'd be nice to get our own portal back if we could find a way to mark something or get our own beacon or something.
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe if we can get to him, he could do something like that.
We can use first list. We haven't shut that down yet, right?
No,
He didn't give us access to it.
We
He-
can't shut it down.
we're not allowed. It's in the contract. Well, not until the contract is complete.
Don't die.
That is, yeah.
I don't even think we
I-
would.
there's
If
no-
our souls
there's
instantly
no
go to
revivify,
him, there's
yeah.
no way we can bring someone back.
Quick question.
Yeah.
So, do we have diamonds leading to 300 gold by chance?
For what?
With,
Won't work.
it
Our
won't
souls
work.
instantly go to him if we die. That is the
That
that
was
is the danger factor.
deal.
That's why everyone's worried. Yeah, we do have them, but I don't think they'll do us any good. Because
You guys still standing around this rubble?
no,
No.
I've been walking.
I would have like
in,
stopped for a minute to talk, but then eventually just.
Yeah, I'm
Really?
just from the direction we came. I'm just going where I believe more should be.
Got it. Okay. At this point, you begin traveling pretty much the same direction, and allow you to have that straight
Whatever
line.
it is, but in a
And with
straight
your like Outlander-like feature,
Mhm.
you're able to gauge a pretty good direction of where you should be heading. The sky itself, you start to notice it because you look down and you're looking forward, and it's dark, but it almost gets to this orientation where everything seems like it is a bit darker, like when it's dark in a room and you can really only make out your peripherals aren't as great as they were a little bit ago, and it's like this kind of gradual thing where it almost looks like nighttime's
like
coming.
you're losing light.
Exactly. But what Skip will remember from when he was watching is that there is no like sun or anything, so night doesn't really seem to be a factor.
It's even darker.
Behind you, kind of like in all directions, you've probably been traveling for a good 15, 16 minutes at this point. And you can see about some 100 feet away, more than 500 or so, but a pretty sizable silhouette of a similar structure to what you have been kind of encountering going down this way. Doesn't look like it's fully intact, but you can see some semblance of it. The darkness that is kind of encroaching you causes you all to just, for a moment, slow down and like look back, and you can see what pretty much just looks like a cloud of like rain that's behind you.
Trust it.
That's beginning to slowly get closer and closer.
Quickly?
Acid rain?
the ground behind you,
No.
probably like a good 100 or so feet behind you, as it hits, you can hear it.
Knew it. It's acid rain.
Acid rain.
We should
And
move.
it's getting closer and closer.
Run!
And closer.
Acid rain.
Each of you looking back, gathering the information to yourself as it starts to hit the ground harder and harder. The 100 feet turns into 50, turns into 20, and you're sprinting, and you can hear it behind you. The ground itself, you can even see like in front of you as you're running, it has these like small little pock marks in it from what you're imagining before this rain had hit.
Does this rain, like, does it look magical?
It more looks natural to the environment.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be any sort of like spell. And the rain itself, like I said, it's like spread like
How
way
far is the next structure from us?
more than 500 or so
Okay.
feet. So you are hauling ass right now.
If you cast haste on me, I can pick up you and Ander and fully
I was
load.
about to say, I already picked
Or you
up
could
the
fly, or
So
could
those
fly.
that would be trailing behind.
I can reach out towards
where's Arbrak? He's pretty fast
Moldrak
too.
Okay,
and cast haste on him,
got it.
doubling his movement for next minute.
Okay. Connor like reaches over and touches. You guys are like running. You're kind of like ahead a little bit, but then you're reaching and trying to pick people up or do whatever.
Yeah, I'm fucking scoop. I scoop up Ander and I scoop up Connor, and I'm
Yeah,
just
'cause-
full speed.
Okay.
Just being concerned about it, I'm gonna reach in my bag real quick, grab the statue,
Yep.
and then jump on his back and fly up to the.
Yep. Azrael jumps on the back
Kinda-
of his nightmare and
Kind
starts.
of. Yeah. I'm just very uncomfortable at this point, but we don't care.
I'll
You and
I'll
Ander.
fly by Moldrak and just gesture in to throw someone on the back of
Uh,
if you want.
probably Connor,
Okay.
just because
He grabbed him.
Ander is like easy.
it.
I can football Ander.
Okay. So you have Ander.
Yeah.
All right. Skip, you are kind of trailing behind a bit. Chelonia and Zar are just fast as hell. They're running quickly.
Yeah, I'm at 80 now. That,
Yeah, so you guys are safe. Safe. Skip, as you are just barreling forward as fast as you possibly can, the acid is like hitting down, and put the shield up if you want to, I guess. It seems to be like hitting it. You can hear it like hitting and going,
I immediately put
and then you feel it like smacking on your shoulder, like on your back. The end of your cape is kind of getting hit with it. As you're just barreling forward as fast as you possibly can, it's hitting, and you can feel the singe and like the burn on your back, to the point where the cape has pretty much gone, and it's just starting to put pop marks into the actual metal. It gets to a point where you guys forward. Some of the rain actually starts to encroach from the sides and catch up to you for the most part. I'd say the only people that really don't get affected are you and Ander, because you're so fast. It's just like 80 base, right?
No. That's sprinting.
Sprinting, you're at 80. Okay, I didn't know if your movement speed was doubled from that, right?
If we seem like we're starting to
I guess I could.
like fall into it, I'm casting Dimension Door.
Okay, got it.
But I think he's even faster
Got
than me.
90, I think, fly speed.
Oh
Right?
fuck yeah, then you're
Okay.
gone too. So
So
Zar
they
and
should be-
Zar and
It's 90
Chelonia.
without dash.
But I think Zar's at the same speed as me now that I'm.
Zar's 40 base,
Oh.
so sprinting you'd be 80.
So I guess if I dashed, I'd be at 160.
Right, that's what I was getting
That's
at.
I didn't. I was.
Right. Yeah, so you guys are all safe and good. Even him, like at 100 or so, he's like a little bit behind, and Zar is trailing to the point where like he's getting hit pretty good. Skip, you are getting just hammered in the back, and then you can see the rain that's kind of closing around, and then you can see probably like 200 or so feet in front of you where both Azrael and Connor have ducked down into, and now Moldrak and Ander have slipped underneath the structure of what you can see is the stone, and the stone itself is kind of at the point now where there's one pillar that's kind of like leaning a little bit, and this whole structure's moved around a bit, and there's a part of it that has this acid rain that's not acid rain, like a burn part in it where it seems to have melted away. And you're watching as you see this rain start to go around the actual structure itself. Skip, you're still like running to try and get underneath. Zarvrax and Chelonia start to get hit a little bit. Chelonia gets it a couple of times before he like dives underneath. As you're running up and looking at the rain smacking the stone, it's not putting huge holes in it like you saw before in that huge 40-foot hole that was burnt away, so you don't think that this rain is the cause of the acid burns and stuff inside of the stone. It's causing little pockmarks and stuff, but it's nothing that is making you think that this is the cause of the destruction of all those structures. You start getting pelted with the rain at this point and can feel it like burning into your shoulder to where you can see this brief bit of light kind of emanating from where your shoulder has just been burned into. You're probably 100 or so feet away at this point from running constantly as fast as you possibly can, and at that point everybody has got underneath. You guys can see Skip like
Run speed is 60.
just trying to keep up with everybody, just barreling their way down, and it's not like you can just pick his huge ass up and be running at the same speed you were before.
If I would have got there like sooner, before the storm reaches, I would have done like a quick loop around the building just to check the integrity of everything.
Okay.
Just like see what's going on before we go in.
It's definitely leaning a little bit. If you guys hug that first pillar, you might be okay, but it's kind of like leaning in this kind of direction. So you just kind of, and then get over towards the pillar and can let everybody know like that one's safe.
Yeah.
Skip, you continue to run forward. So Chelonia and Zarvrax take a little bit of damage. Skip, as for you, it doesn't seem like it is hurting you constitutionally wise. Once you get into the spot, you actually dive into the bottom part of the structure. And you guys look and see that his whole cape is just kind of like ripped and torn. Like there's the part where it clips onto the front, and you can see the part of his back where the acid kind of hit. There's like a huge hole where it just kind of like pocked out, and there's bits of light that are just shining through all of these cracks. You hit the ground. You can see Chelonia is like taking the staff and like pushing some of it off of him, and Zarvrax is like taking his hand and he's like, oh, ow, oh, ow, 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 and then he
Hit him
just
with some water.
it splashes off.
Like, all right, Skip, don't freak out. You got a bit of a hole in your back. I have my old shield. I could probably just like mend it to your back if I take the wood off of it.
There's wood.
What?
Wood.
What about wood? No, I'm saying I take the wood off the shield because it's just like surrounded. by
So Chelonia takes
But there's a
15
metal
points of
plate.
acid damage, and
So you
Zarvrax
can
takes
put it on and mend
25.
it to you. That way you don't have a hole.
Alright, you do that, and it seems more for appearance that it does anything.
Oh, okay.
Skip, attacks from behind you, your AC is reduced by 2.
Damn. Well, we gotta. It's a temporary patch. It's we're gonna have to fix you up at home.
Still get hit in the ass.
As long as it's in front of you, your AC is the same, but if it's from behind, it's minus 2.
Yeah, the paint is base like a fucking War Machine mini now.
Yeah. With the little fucking half.
Yeah.
Okay, like right here. Doot, doot. Okay, or you just use it like this, right? From the corners?
Yep.
Cool. Alright, so, you guys underneath here, this rain's here for a good hour. And it keeps going and going, and you can hear like the sizzling and popping of the stone, and you even hear like this like the building is kind of moving and creaking a little bit. As you guys sit here and wait for the rain to go away, it takes some time, but after it dissipates, you look around, look to your surroundings. While it's all raining and everything, you guys take the time to help Skip as best you can, mending his back. And then you look towards the same direction you were heading to go that way, and we're going to pick it up there next week at that point. Thank you for tuning in, and if you did, make sure you're following so you get put in for the giveaway. Also check out the YouTube. There are VODs all the way up to episode like 80 on there, along with podcasts and other stuff, so be sure to check that out. Thank you.
Yes.